ESPN Baton Rouge. Charles Handgriff, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro is with us today. Jordan Kinch is back in the studio. Frank Wilson press conference today, and a normal football Monday scheduled to you. Glad you're with us on a cold day. Temperatures dropped as predicted, but beautiful sunshine. And Jimmy Ott back in town after his trip to
What's up, Charlie?
Tuscaloosa. How was your vacation? How was your trip?
It was incident free, so it was good.
Okay.
So we'll start off with that. No, good to go spend some time with EJ and all of his buddies. And look, man, Alabama, LSU, no matter what the outcome and stuff, it draws a beautiful crowd, man. It was hot, a little hot. And then I'm leaving the next morning, Sunday morning, and it was it's freezing. So it was, but just no, man, it's kind of a pregame before they started out. People a little bummed that they're not going to play every year.
Yeah.
A little bit of that. So, and just that school is such a melting pot. Just Friday night alone, I was with people from Houston, Boston, Nebraska, Scottsdale, Orlando, Columbus, Georgia. I mean, all over the place. Like 70% of the enrollment's out of state.
What was your last trip there before this? When was the last time you went there before this?
Well, for a game.
Yeah.
Or because I went to campus with Ethan to start the spring semester.
I'm thinking before Ethan started school there. But when's the last time you?
Oh, it's been a while.
Okay.
It's been like 10 years. Yeah.
So, how much different is it now than it was 10 years ago, from an enrollment standpoint and all that stuff? I'm trying to get to what Saban did for the school.
Oh no, we were in our conversation. These are people that are, these are pretty successful people around the country, affluent people, and we were talking, and we're like, this guy's the most underpaid coach in the history of college football.
Yeah.
And he probably made more than any coach in the history of college football. And he has made that school a lot of money. Yeah. Yes.
The impact on the non-football stuff is tangible.
Yes. I mean, the thing is, it's just the facilities. It's just and then the development around it, like the downtown area is basically tripled with restaurants, bars, shops, hotels.
Yeah.
I mean, Saban's got the premier hotel downtown Tuscaloosa. It has grown and grown in a real positive way. I can tell you what, the Airbnbs ain't cheap, bro.
Right.
I mean,
right.
So no, it's a good spot, man.
Something to think about, since we increasingly are talking about total cost of a football coach. It's something else to factor in.
And listen,
it's not the only thing. It's just something else to factor in.
You can get an up and comer. You can try and or you could be like a Dan Mullen and recruit 2 stars at Mississippi State and out evaluate people, okay? And you could bring in an overly accomplished coach. And there's never been more of an accomplished hire than Brian Kelly. But damn it, that coach can make a difference. I mean, we see what bad coaches do and what good coaches can do. I mean, but as far as you can have the most accomplished, safest resume hire that doesn't work, I mean,
we just saw it.
We just saw it. And so now we will always say, well, at least Brian Kelly, LSU got the better of the two as far as him and Lincoln Riley. Well, Lincoln Riley's still coaching now. So now is he –
I thought you were going to say they got the better of the two between him and Billy Napier.
No, that's obvious. But Napier was not on these guys' level. Florida did not pay Napier what Lincoln Riley and Brian Kelly made. I mean, because he was not as accomplished. It's one thing to win at Oklahoma and Notre Dame or ULL. Come on. So, but it's still not. It doesn't guarantee you anything. When people ask me, Charlie, I say one thing about the biggest complaint transitioning to the biggest priority. I just think they're looking for a guy with some energy.
I don't think there's any question.
Energy / hunger. I mean, is that?
Yes.
I mean, they got burned. I mean, this was a good. Nobody was complaining about this hire. Who cares about LSU? Nobody.
Right. Yeah.
And so,
let's talk about the football game here for a minute.
Yep.
Frank Wilson is the interim coach. They promised that they would make a renewed effort to run the football, and they did make the renewed effort. Unfortunately, the results were not what they were hoping for. 26 carries for 59 yards. We thought we wanted to see what Alex Atkins would look like calling the plays versus Joe Sloan early on. They did some different things. They tried the middle of the field with the screen game, which produced some early results for them. They used some half rolls, move and pocket things
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
that helped Garrett Nussmeier out a little bit, and they were able to move the football a little bit. Unfortunately, the things that have plagued LSU all season were still there. Their red zone problems, and I'm going to get to one specific one in a minute. 4 trips into the red zone, 3 field goals. They also had problems getting the plays in. That was something that plagued them before, and the ability to potentially change plays at the offensive line of scrimmage were not there. The ability of your opponent to get pressure with 3 and drop 8, the blueprint that Ole Miss put out there for the world to see, Alabama executed it as well or better than the Rebels, probably better than the Rebels did back in Oxford. So all of those things. Nussmeier was accurate. He completed a lot of passes, but everything was underneath. Everything was dink and dunk. The reluctance to throw the football down the field remained there, and Nussmeier took some shots as well. We would see Michael Van Buren from the early part of the third quarter the rest of the way. This sequence, which we pointed out yesterday on Football Sunday and on the post game, kind of epitomizes what LSU's offensive problems were. They got down. This is the first drive of the third quarter. First down and goal at the Alabama 9-yard line. They ran Harlem Berry for a yard. Again, indicative of their inability to run the football. The second play was an incompletion that was thrown into the short middle of the field, which they had a hard time doing after the initial success. Then they had a delay a game penalty, which backed them up 5 yards. Then they had to call timeout to avoid a second delay a game penalty. Then Nussmeier was sacked. 2 things on that play. Carius Kern, who's being asked to play out of position at left tackle, was beaten on the play. Nussmeier, as he has done on a number of occasions, rolled out backwards and gave ground, was sacked. And first and goal at the 9 ends up with 4th and goal at the 27. They did make the field goal, but Frank Wilson had seen enough. Whereas on the play, the drive before that, right before the half, when Nussmeier came to the sideline, Frank kind of patted him on the head, kind of loving him up. Even Greg McElroy on the broadcast made the observation. He said, well, Brian Kelly would have probably been a little bit more animated. When Nussmeier did that, Frank was animated plenty, and that was it for Nussmeier. It was time to see if they could get a spark with Van Buren, and we'll talk about him. But Jimmy, whether it be the hits that he's taken, the injury that he had before, the mental aspect of this. Both Richard Dixon on the post game and Rohan Davey yesterday on Football Sunday talked about both the pressure that he's feeling and the implied pressure, seeing ghosts at times with some of this pressure that sometimes it's not even there, but a lot of times it's there. And for Nussmeier, it was time for LSU to try something else.
He's punch drunk, man. I mean, he's he's like a fighter that's just worn down, man. He's like a vehicle that was really sharp at one time. It's got over 200,000 miles on it. I mean, he's just damaged goods right now. And it's funny because at the beginning of games, he kind of starts off like, okay. Once he starts getting hit again, it's, the same reactions that come. And I can't totally kill him for that. I mean, because he's taking a beating, man.
Yeah.
Tell me another quarterback in college football is taking as big of a beating as him. He's probably at the top of the list, okay, with the caliber of competition, the teams that they face, and then the lack of protection. I mean, let's face it, and no running game. I mean, it's just X after X after X. Sloppy. I mean, how many pre-snap penalties? Now, some of that was with the backup quarterback when he came in, so he got different cadence. When that's one of the things that you will see some of that
and
from
you're on
time
the road,
to time.
yeah.
But this was like on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this was not like the place was not going crazy pre-snap where it was like the 12th man at Seattle Seahawks games and stuff like that. No, it wasn't that vintage LSU Alabama type of atmosphere. It was good, but it was not deafening like some of the ones in the past. But And then the sequence, and you talked about it. And it's obvious. Everybody's talking about it. How I mean, you don't make DeBoer and Alabama pay for burning their timeouts. So
At the end of the first half,
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, so
that was one
you
of the
coming
biggest
out of
mistakes
this
the sideline
play,
made.
the coaches have to coach it. We don't know. I don't know if Frank was asked after the game if they said, "Did you say maybe a sack was okay? Did you think about running a draw? You know,
Yeah.
with Alabama out of timeouts. What's our policy with end of the half situations? Field position dictates aggression.
Yes.
So they were kind of in. They had a possession, but it was kind of you don't kill the clock and give them a free possession on third down. So, and then Nussmeier, what's he doing throwing the ball away? This is one time we'll just eat the ball.
Yeah.
And the half is over.
It was a minute 7 to go. It was 3rd and 11 from the 19-yard line, and Alabama had no timeouts left, which is the most significant portion of this thing. And they tried to throw something into the short middle of Barry Brown, and it was incomplete. If they run the football there, and look, even if they complete the pass and they make the first down. Let's say they make the first down up at the 40-yard line. Based on how the offense had gone at that point, their chances of scoring inside of a minute from more than 50 yards out are not great. They could have done it, but not great. So if you run the football there, you're going to bleed 40 seconds off the clock. You punt it. And
It's half's over.
yeah,
Yeah,
Alabama gets the ball probably somewhere around their 30, maybe their 35-yard line with 20 seconds to go and no timeouts. They run the football, and you go to the half 10-3. That would have been the play. The sideline made a mistake there.
Well, the sideline and the quarterback.
And the quarterback makes a mistake
both.
too.
And
yeah.
and then the other biggest play is what?
The other biggest play for
Well, it could have been
Alabama.
a game altering. It was a game altering play. It was a drop. Trey Dez,
Oh,
how
Trey Dez
long
Green,
is he going to
yeah.
go? But that's a physical.
Up near midfield.
That's
up near midfield.
Oh, he might have gone much further than that.
You probably had a better view than we did on TV.
He had a chance.
Midfield easy.
He had a chance to.
They've thrown the ball in the middle of the field so infrequently that I think they caught Alabama shocked. Like, they're not going to throw the ball in the middle of the field. We don't even have to cover it.
And one other big play when the tight end fumbles the ball early
Yeah,
on a
that was a
conversion.
big one.
On a conversion play, you can't. It reminds me of old gamblers. Okay, who am I usually on? I'm usually on dogs or favorites more. Of course, the dogs. And then my buddy who will follow me, well, that's why bad teams are bad. They just they just do things, poor football IQ things, don't execute a simple thing like a catch. And no, it was wide open, Charlie. He was going.
Yeah.
He was going. Now I don't know the exact result of it, but he had a chance to. It was going to be the biggest play of the game.
It was.
But the mental, the IQ of the staff and the quarterback screwing that thing up before half and giving Alabama that extra possession. That's you got to control what you can control, and that's just poor football IQ. And that no matter who's the head coach, hasn't that been the case all year?
Yes, a lot of
All
these
year.
mistakes are repeating. On a
I mean, what's
positive,
Nussmeier running backwards for? Is he a scrambler now? Of course not.
no. On a positive side, the defense I thought played very well.
Absolutely.
Alabama has not been able to run the
How
football.
about your star?
as good. Harold Perkins finally showed up.
Impact plays
big-
all over the place.
Biggest game he's had since the Clemson game. They did not allow Alabama to run the football.
Now,
They
Alabama
put-
hadn't run against a whole lot of
They,
people.
they have not run the football well, but LSU kept that up, held them to 2.2 yards. They put better pressure on the quarterback, I think, than they have maybe in any game this year. They had to blitz a lot to do it, but que sera, they put pressure on Simpson. Simpson is hot right now. He's a very good quarterback. The throw where they catch the tight end in man coverage on Devon Keys. Keys wasn't in bad position, but it was a beautiful throw down the sideline, and they make a big play. He made some big plays, including the ones he made in that drive that they gave him at the end of the first half. But you tell me, when Alabama wakes up and looks at this film yesterday, they're going to say, we won. We beat a team that's a little bit out of sorts right now. But if we run this in an SEC championship game of the playoffs, we're in trouble. We got to play better than this.
Every Alabama fan or that I talked to, they was like, this was not our best. This was a little sloppy. There was, but they gave LSU a little credit as well. I mean, Alabama has not run the ball effectively, and really, we talk about it. Running game's a quarterback's best friend. Simpson's still having this year with very limited running game, so you give him a little bit more recognition. But they made it hard on him. I mean, LSU, how many stops did they get? You know, I mean, it just the defense turned them away. The defense kept it's a one possession game. How in the fourth quarter? Because the
Oh
defense.
gosh, how many times
Because
did
the
we say
defense.
that? Yeah.
You know, so I mean, no, they really did, and I think that's what we expected. Frank is connected more to the players. We're going to see a little, as far as the effort is concerned, a little interim juice, and you saw that. You saw that with Auburn and LSU on Saturday. There's no doubt. But in the end, just your inability to protect the quarterback. When he does have time, he's still rattled. He's not doing it. He's doing things that are out of his skill set, and then some just poor decisions and poor execution on basic things by the team. Just kind of cost you a chance to really put a scare into Alabama.
3 punts. They also turned it over on downs. They recovered a fumble. And if you want to give them credit for the missed field goal, it was a short missed field goal, but they got off the field without points in that drive too. So enough.
344 yards. I'm sure Alabama was averaging way more than that.
I could take, if you'd give me on Friday, said 344 yards and 20 points, I'd say that defensively, that's on the road, that's just fine.
So early, again, you know, you kind of like the play calling early. It's almost like, okay, their script might have been good. I mean, they did some different wrinkles. But, you know, and even Nussmeier, I thought looked like his body had recouped a little bit early, you know, and was coming out his hand a little bit, you know. And, you know, just kind of, but you gotta hang in there. And then when you just, the self-induced stuff, the gifts that you gave Alabama, and there were a few. I mean, you gotta make those plays for the underdog to have a chance.
I love what the guys here at Chris's Specialty Foods did today. The weather's cold for the first time in a while. What's for lunch, Jimmy?
Well, it's a homemade chili.
Chili. Yes.
Homemade chili with tortilla chips on top, little cheese, and yes, I mean it's really good stuff. Served with some asada chips and things like that. But it's a cold day today and a hot bowl of chili, homemade chili over here. That's in addition to our regular lunch menu. But also, Charlie, it's holiday season over here at Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road, right across the street from Rufino's. But come and grab one of the holiday menus. So the whole turkeys, seasoned injected turkey breasts, whole seasoned turkeys, whole fried turkeys, smoked turkeys. So seasoned turkeys, fried turkeys, smoked turkeys. How about the boneless turkeys, stuffed with rice dressing, stuffed with cornbread dressing, stuffed with boudin, or the shrimp and rice, or the stuffed with the crawfish and rice. Turkey rolls, we got all of those as well. Turduckins, we ship turduckins all over the country. So turduckins with all of the different, your choice of the different stuffings, rice dressing, cornbread, boudin, crawfish, or shrimp. So, and create your own bundle. So you do choose one of the turkeys or turduckins and 2 of the medium sides, where there's some mac and cheese, rice dressing, twice baked potatoes, cabbage, yams, cornbread, or green beans. So we got turkey gravy, pecan pie, dinner rolls. For all of your holiday needs, Chris's Specialty Foods over here. And you know what? Ship it nationwide, too, for a treat to some of your friends to give them one of those turduckins around the country.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Coach Saban here. On the field or on your walls, coverage matters. That's why I go with Behr Marquee Interior Paint and Primer from the Home Depot.
Exceptional hide, advanced stain blocking, and over 1,000 colors to choose from. Behr Marquee delivers one-coat coverage that stands up to real life. One-coat coverage, no overtime. Behr Marquee, only at the Home Depot. How doers get more done. Valid only when tinted to colors from the Behr Marquee Interior One-Coat Hide Collection.
Now that I'm a dad, I can't stop thinking about what would happen to my kids if something happened to me, like losing the house or not affording college.
Yeah, that used to keep me up at night too. It's why I finally got life insurance from Ethos. It's 100% online. No medical exams, just a few health questions. I got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day.
I never realized it was that simple. Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game.
Rates may vary. Bill monthly. Sample rate 10-year term life policy for a 35-year-old healthy non-smoking male.
I'm Insurance Commissioner Tim Temple. Medicare open enrollment runs from October 15th to December 7th. This is your once-a-year opportunity to make changes to your Medicare plan. Need support? The Senior Health Information Program can guide you through the process. Our team is trained to educate, counsel, and assist seniors and other Medicare beneficiaries in Louisiana so you can make the best decision for your health and budget. For additional help, call SHIP at 1-800-259-5300.
Sponsored by the Louisiana Senior Health Information Program.
Hey, do you love beef? I mean premium Angus beef. Sagrera Farm sells the whole sides and quarters straight from the farm, ready to fill your freezer with tender, flavorful ribeyes, fillets, strips, brisket, ground beef, and a lot more. I want to introduce you to Louisiana's own Sean Sagrera of Sagrera Farms, a hidden gem just 30 minutes north of Baton Rouge. What's Sean's secret? Mating genetically superior Angus cattle and then ensuring that every day in the life of his cattle is a great one. Happy, healthy cattle, finished on grain, dry-aged 45 days, creates consistent and predictable, flavorful beef. When you take a bite of Sagrera Farms beef, you'll know that this is not some mass-produced afterthought. So if you want the best, and I mean the best in Angus beef, go online to sagrerafarms.com, or better yet, call Sean right now at 225-719-1723. Sagrera Farms.
Do you feel like you get hurt at the most inconvenient times? Brock's After Hours Clinic has you covered for a break, sprain, or strain. Open 7 days a week, nights and weekends. Walk-ins welcome. Learn more, brortho.com.
Take a swing around the parish to one of Breck's 5 golf courses. 2 championship courses, Santa Maria and Beaver Creek, and 3 courses for the more casual golfers. The popular 18-hole Webb Park and 2 9-hole courses, City Park and the newly renovated J.S. Clark. Breck's courses are designed to challenge every level of golfer from beginner to pro. So come and get into the swing of things. Book your tee time online or find a course near you at golf.breck.org. That's golf.breck.org.
This is Garrett Nussmeyer. When it's game day in Baton Rouge, I know I've got to bring my best. On the road, I want the same feeling. Ready, confident, and in control. That's why I get into Mercedes-Benz. With powerful performance, head-turning style, and comfort that goes the distance. It's built for champions. You can feel it from the first drive. Visit my team at Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge and see why game day starts the moment you get behind the wheel.
For a test drive, visit us on Airline Highway in Baton Rouge or at mbobr.com.
Football and Fireball is a match made in heaven. And by heaven, of course, we mean Twin Peaks.
Hello.
Spice up things next game day with a shot of our favorite cinnamon whiskey and wash it down with one of our famous 29-degree drafts. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
Remember, you can always get the show on demand, 1045ESPN.com, LouisianaSports.net. It's brought to you by Supreme Rice, supporting our Louisiana farmers since the 1930s. Go to SupremeRice.com. Jimmy, I'm going to lay out two scenarios here and just get your opinion on it because I don't think it's an easy question. Some people might think it's an easy question, but I don't think it's an easy question. And that the question is, what do you do with Garrett Nussmeyer for the last 3 games of the regular season? And here are the 2 things. First of all, we talked about his play, the beating that he's taken, the whole thing, and Michael Van Buren does give you a little bit more of a running option. He is not a full running quarterback, but he's certainly more mobile than Nussmeyer.
He can run away from the pressure better.
He can
I
protect
mean,
himself a little bit better.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have a chance to take a look at him for next year. You get Nussmeyer some rest and all that stuff. On the other hand, Nussmeyer has been here for 5 years. He's shown a lot of loyalty to the program. He still cares. I noticed the other night when he was benched, he was up there, he was cheering. He had tears in his eyes at the end of the game because this obviously means something to him. He didn't sulk. He didn't pout. He didn't pack up his stuff and leave at the end on Sunday and say, you know what, guys, fend for yourself. I understand they're paying him. I understand it's a different situation. But if Garrett Nussmeyer says, you know what, I want to play, you got the worst defense in the SEC coming in this weekend, and the following week you got senior night, okay? And, you know, if the kid says, you know what, I'm still here. I still want to play. I still want to play for LSU. I'm willing to go out there. I'll take the hits. I'll go out there. I'm going to give you my best. What do you do?
Well, I mean, are you trying to reward the guy, or are you trying to win games, or both?
Does he still give you the best chance to win a game against an Arkansas?
I don't think so.
Against Arkansas?
I don't think so.
Okay. It's not an easy question. I'm glad it's not my decision to make.
I was stubborn on this for a long time, but he's just but there's no doubt this is the one. These two games, it's not just senior night, but Western Kentucky's defense and Arkansas's defense. I want to play against them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care who's playing quarterback at LSU. They're going to have more of a chance to be successful, productive, move the ball more, score more against Arkansas and Western Kentucky's defense than pretty much anybody you've played in the SEC or Clemson.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Arkansas throughout them with Southeastern and whoever, the Renowin, and Arkansas is the weakest defense you're going to play.
Yeah, they're significantly last. I mean, by a margin
there you
to
go.
15.
That's
okay.
So but I think that Van Buren is the better option right now. And I just didn't think I would ever come to that. But he's just such damaged goods.
Yeah.
And you can't have that. You can't throw the ball away. So he's throwing them. That's just that's just no clue the situation. Just no clue. And you just can't have that. And that's where he is right now. So he's gotten hit so much, it's affecting the plays where it's not where he's just under instant pressure. I mean, and that's why I was so upset about the Ole Miss game. I said, man, Ole Miss is not good on defense, and they're getting pressure with 3. The blueprint's out. Well, you saw Alabama do it a lot, huh?
Yes.
I mean, but part of it is, I mean, this guy, man, is committed, and that's why it's really in an advantageous role, and that's why I thought this thing was going to be so good this year, because of the continuity of him being around and working in the off seasons and knowing his surroundings and things like that, and being with the staff, being with Kelly the whole time. But I thought that Van Buren on Saturday gave them a better chance to move the ball, and just because it's not so much him being productive in the running game, but pressure is going to be an issue even against Western Kentucky and Arkansas, and because of that, Van Buren is a better option. So I could see Nussmeier coming out there against Arkansas and throwing for 250, and throwing for like 9 yards an attempt. I mean, they're bad.
And what if
everybody has?
And what if he says, you know what? I played through the injury. I gave it my best shot. Again, I took a beating. My draft stock has taken a big hit, and I understand people say, well, this is about LSU, but you got to go recruit the next quarterback, okay? And I'm not talking about his brother. I'm talking about any quarterback. You say, well, man, look, we put the last guy on the bench. When he had a chance to go out and let me go put some good tape out there. Let me recoup a little bit of this against the soft part of the schedule. I understand the argument. Like I said, I don't think this is a very easy call for Frank. It's a hell of a position to be put in. Now, maybe Nussmeier's in agreement with him. Maybe he says, you know what, I am hurt. I'm gonna shut it down, and I'll be on the sideline in street clothes. I'll root my ass off for you guys. Best of luck, but I'm done playing.
Charlie, never should you do things outside of putting your team in the best position to win. Ever. Okay? And that's recruiting. And if you're trying to just – a guy's committed, you give it a charity case. If you're compromising, just putting the best guys on the field to give you the best chance of winning, you get what you get.
I think that's true. I think your statement in a vacuum.
And I understand the main goals are out the way and things like that. I get it, but I'm sorry, but Chris Sims shouldn't have been playing ahead of Major Applewhite.
Yeah,
and I was with a recruiting conscience.
Now I know what
you understand.
Yes.
So,
now I know what you think, but
I could be wrong. I could be wrong. That Nussmeier gives him a better chance. That's just my opinion.
My question.
Okay.
Do you think the coach? I know what you think. Do you think the coaching staff thinks that Nussmeier gives him a better chance?
Man,
tougher question.
You saw in just a couple of series. Man, I'm going to pat you on the back. It's all okay. Yeah. What the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
He's damaged goods right now, man. He's just in. And listen, I don't know another quarterback can beat up like him. None.
He's taking it.
Max had a very good stat he was sharing with me about the lowest rated offensive lines. I'm like, no, Aiden Childs hadn't been hit like that. I mean, South Carolina's got a bad.
Michigan State.
Yeah. When he got benched, and then the other guy came in threw for 300 yards, Milivojevic, in his only start against Minnesota. Okay, so I mean, my point. Okay, we've seen Childs together. Okay, he'll give you.
Yeah, I like the other guy better.
Okay, yes. South Carolina. Well, who's quarterbacking at South Carolina? He's one of the best athletes in the country. So he's not taking as many hits
And
because
a
he's
big guy,
He's
too.
run. Yes, and he's big. So he hadn't been beat up. This guy's been beat up more than anybody in the country. And so there's some sympathy there, but also if you're trying to win, can you rotate him? I could do that. Now you're trying.
That's what Rohan said yesterday.
The
He was playing
staff,
both.
the staff has been around for 2 weeks. You know, the new staff. You can't have an offensive metamorphosis in 2 weeks, but there got to be some sort of moving or rolling or dual threat packages that you can run with Van Buren that you can't with Nussmeier. And then Arkansas, if Nussmeier came up, I thought Nussmeier was going to have a big night. I said, man, he got a rest. He recharged his batteries. He didn't get hit one Saturday. You know, BK, that's the most pitiful move ever. And we called it that week right here. What the hell are you doing playing him against Southeastern?
Should have sat him against
And
Southeastern.
he re-aggravated his injury.
I would have.
He got hurt in the Southeastern game.
Not only, I would have understood if they said, we're sitting in for Southeastern and Ole Miss.
So-
If we lose, we lose. We're going to give him a month,
But-
and we're going to go into the October part of
Well-
the schedule with him healthy.
Well, that's the question for Frank today. Is it because he's been so committed, is this factoring into the quarterback rotation on Saturday?
Not,
I mean, that's, you know,
I'm
Frank's
glad
a
it's
big
not my decision to make, to be honest with you, because you got to look that kid in the eye. That's been there
no,
for 5 years.
no, but Charlie, you cannot let politics or eye on recruiting. You have to try and make the decisions, in your opinion, to put your team in the best position to win and play the best position, the players that give you the best position. I thought you saw both of them. Who was more sound in their decisions on Saturday?
Van Buren gave him a better chance in the second half than Nussmeier
Now,
did
this
in
is
the first.
Saturday. This
Yeah,
is Alabama.
yeah,
That
against
doesn't mean it's
defense.
going to translate against Arkansas. But still, I saw a guy that's just got.
And they scored 3 points
He's
behind
got
Van
lower
Buren.
mileage on his
Yeah,
on his car. Okay.
But Van Buren, it's not like they came out there and they scored 3 touchdowns. Okay.
No,
they
but
scored 3 points.
They scored 3. If Tradez holds onto the ball, we don't know.
They might have scored again.
Now can he make all the throws that Nussmeier will? Over a sample size, will they cheat on? Well, they hadn't seen enough of him at this point. And think when you're talking strategy, okay, this applies to everything. What does my opponent want? So what is the opponent? What do they think? I'm Arkansas's defense coordinator. Who would I rather face? You tell me.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I say I'd rather go against Nussmeier because I know what he can do, he can't do in the decisions he makes. I don't know about this wild card, Van Buren.
Yeah.
There's a little uncertainty there on how to attack them. Because you know what I'm doing against them? What are you going to do? I'm rushing 3.
Sure.
I'm rushing 3.
Maybe Frank doesn't need to say anything today. Make him prepare for both. Now, that's what he says today. Now, what he actually does, I don't know.
That's one of the things that tipped me off that BK was checked out. Why are you telling us all the injury information? This is to a fault. You're not supposed to. He was, oh, no, he's out. I mean, wait, we didn't even ask you. Why are you so damn nice to the media? When I thought you were a prickly pear up there. I'm getting paid.
Won't happen again.
I know it's a different coach. Van Buren threw for 309 yards against Arkansas last season, for what it's worth. 22 of it,
I mean,
totally
how
different
many
team,
did Nussmeier throw against him?
last season?
I don't remember last season's Arkansas.
Probably 300.
Probably. I'm
2 Fridays ago
working
feels
on
like
that.
8 years ago. I don't remember what happened last year.
What's the governor think?
I don't think I want to know.
Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title for all of your real estate closings. 296-0060, full service title company servicing all of South Louisiana. Fast, friendly, professional services, what you get when you dial 296-0060. Our great team at Legacy Title: Ashley Donald, Mariana Haynes, Adrian Collada, Michael Platt, Natalie and Bradford Smith. Buying, building, refinancing. Nobody chooses but you. Choose Chad Reynolds and Legacy Title. 296-0060.
Nussmeier threw for 233.
233. Okay. Live at Chris Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Hi, this is Brandon Knoll of Landmark Bank. At Landmark Bank, we believe banking should feel like home. That's why we keep it local, right here where our kids go to school, your neighbors wave hello, and your business grows. We're your neighbors, your friends, your fellow business owners. We've been here for generations, helping families grow, dreams take shape, and communities thrive. You're not just an account number to us, you're a face we know, a name we remember, and a story that we're proud to be a part of. Landmark Bank, local roots, local bankers, and real relationships.
Tailgate in style by joining the Benny's Club. For one low monthly fee, you can wash your vehicle every day, all month long, with exclusive access to fuel discounts and more. Keep your ride game day ready. Become a Benny's Club member today. Benny's Car Wash, proud partner of LSU Athletics.
Feast your eyes on Toyota deals at All-Star Toyota this November. Whether you're heading home for turkey or tackling holiday errands, Toyota rentals make it easy. Drive the dependable Corolla or the spacious Highlander just for the weekend or the whole holiday stretch.
Gobble up great rates and enjoy the ride with legendary Toyota reliability. Hurry in before these deals get carved away. Visit All-Star Toyota today on Airline at Goodwood. People you know, cars you trust.
Christmas time is almost here, which means carols in the air, Christmas trees, good cheer, and the dread of putting up Christmas decorations. Thankfully, there's Got Lit light installers. It's simple. They bring their lights, decorate your house, you enjoy, and when the season's over, they take them down and haul them away. Get your estimate. GotLitLights.com. That's GotLitLights.com, because everything looks better when it's lit.
Are you feeling hopeless, isolated, depressed?
For years, I lived my life in fear. It's just that my mind could not shut off.
Fear, isolation. These are the battles that so many people face every day. But it doesn't have to be this way. Now, Gail doesn't suffer like she used to, thanks to TMS therapy at NeuroJust, a minimally invasive treatment proven to improve depression without the side effects of medication.
Now I can go shopping, come back home, cook, put clothes in the laundry. I can do multiple things in one day. I have never did this in about 22 years.
Start your healing journey today with your free consultation at NeuroJust. Call 225-755-9733. 225-755-9733. That's 225-755-9733.
1045 ESPN Baton Rouge and Citizens Bank and Trust are bringing you the ultimate holiday gift with our Home for the Holidays sweepstakes. Imagine 2026 with your rent or mortgage covered up to $15,000. We're here to help make your holidays a whole lot brighter. Just sign up at 1045ESPN.com and you could be living stress-free next year. Home for the Holidays is presented by Citizens Bank and Trust. Sign up now at 1045ESPN.com.
Looking to buy, build, or refinance a home? At GMFS Mortgage, we make it easy because we're local. Our underwriting and processing happens right here in the Baton Rouge office. That means faster approvals, smoother closing, and real people who understand your needs. For over 26 years, we've helped our neighbors in Louisiana achieve the dream of home ownership. Visit GMFSmortgage.com to get started today. We are GMFS Mortgage, your local lender.
GMFS. NMLS number 64997 is an equal housing lender. Mortgages originated at 7389 Florida Boulevard, Suite 200A, Baton Rouge, Louisiana 70806.
How often will Trash Rangers come to your business and pick up your trash? We pick up commercial trash up to 6 times a week, depending on your schedule. For more info, visit TrashRangers.com today.
Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. 5 brands on one lot. Shop BayouAutomotive.com.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
We're also brought to you by Louisiana Health and Injury Centers, helping you deal with pain. Dr. Michael Goff and his staff have helped us out, man. Weather's getting a little colder. You got something acting up. Get them to help you out there. They'll get you into a program that'll pinpoint your problem areas and get you to feeling better, whether it's just the regular exercise and stretching routines or dry needling, electric nerve stimulation, cryo, or ultrasound therapy. They'll get you to feeling a little bit better, moving around good as the weather gets a little bit cooler. Airline Highway, Plank Road, Jefferson Highway near Drusilla. Dr. Michael Goff, Louisiana Health and Injury
Charlie,
Centers.
don't put me on the record without you two going. What would you do, and what do you think Frank's going to do? I see how this goes. I mean, he's grilling me left and right.
Yeah.
You haven't even thought about yourself?
I like to ask. No, I've thought about it plenty.
Well, I mean, look, it just, you're still trying to win games. I'll tell you this. Weren't you impressed with Auburn? Wouldn't you rather see
gosh.
that? This is not the
Yeah.
NFL. We're not going for draft picks, right?
Yeah.
Huh?
Right, yeah, you're not-
I mean, they
you-
played hard, man. I mean, it took another Diego Miracle to bail them out.
500 yards of offense.
Amazing
damn
what
near.
happens when you don't have 3 different play callers for 3 different
No,
downs.
that was yes, Max. That's an easy target. Max, who would you play?
To me, once you made the move, it's done. It's Van Buren. Rest of the
Well, you
way.
got to see enough improvement for it to be done, huh? You can't go out there and throw 3 interceptions. And that's
Sure,
your guy, huh?
but-
I mean, it's not the NFL like they made a move to Tyler Shuck, who they got
No.
money invested in.
Correct. This is different than that. But I think it's Van Buren. Van Buren did just enough in terms of throwing it 10 yards down the field. There were still mistakes there. I saw receivers coming back to the ball, so it's like they were open. I'll have to go back and watch it today. But I think it's Van Buren for the reasons you mentioned about
So
evading
you
pressure.
would to Van Buren, and you think it's going to be Van Buren?
Yes.
Okay, Charlie.
This is going to be unpopular, but if he's healthy enough to go and he's in the right frame of mind and says I'm ready to go, I would start Nussmeier. I would play Van Buren, and I think if Nussmeier is healthy enough to go, Frank will start him. But I do think Van Buren is going to play. It's a week-to-week thing now. I'm not going to say, okay, you're going to start all the rest of the games no matter what. Like I said, I know that's unpopular. I know people are frustrated with with Nussmeier. I'm very good friends with a lot of them that would probably throw tomatoes at me right now if they heard me say that. But his attitude still means something to me. What he's gone through, and I'm not positive. If I was positive that Van Buren gave him a better chance to win on Saturday, I would say make the move. I'm not. I could be dead wrong. He may go out there and throw 2 picks in the first quarter, and then he'll sit, and that'll be it. But I would go one more time and see what he does. Just because they're playing Arkansas. If they were playing Oklahoma this week, I don't know. That might be a different answer.
I'd rather play against Arkansas than Oklahoma's
um,
defense. Yes, indeed.
And I understand that that's not a popular opinion at all right now.
Well, but who do you think? You think Nussmeier gives him a better chance at winning?
Slightly, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
No, and
against this defense, yes, slightly right
Okay.
now. And like I said, I run the risk of looking like a complete fool if he goes out
Now,
there and turns the ball over 3 times in the
You
first
have to
half.
admit that Van Buren played better against Alabama
Yes.
than Nussmeier did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay. And again, neither in the red zone. Why is Trey Green not in the game in the red zone? I would ask that question.
Again, does your opponent want him in the game?
Yeah.
When they're in the
no,
red
they
zone?
don't know.
Of course not.
They're happy to
Yes.
see him
Yes,
on the
yes,
sideline.
yes.
Auburn, I said 450. It was 550. A little over, little 500.
Where did that come
560
from?
563 to be.
Because it's the same guy that couldn't get a yard against Kentucky.
Ashton Daniels accounted
He
for.
played well.
He accounted for 440 yards by himself. Now, if you're thinking, oh, this is the young quarterback, they didn't know what this kid's a senior.
Now, this was a tough 22-day stretch for Vandy. LSU, Missouri, Texas, and here. That's a grind. That's a grind because
That's
all
4 full games.
Well, all of them
60
came
minute
down to the
games.
very end.
Yeah, 60.
Yes. 3 60-minute games coming into this one, and this one goes overtime. Yeah.
Yeah, 60 plus. But what did you think? Vandy, the one place where they had a chance to kick, I think it was a 44-yard field goal, 45-yard field goal, 4th down. Help me out, Max. We watch again. Minute 30 to go, about minute 20
I
to
want
go.
to say minute 10. I'll go back
Okay.
and look, and there were no timeouts. Importantly, that
No
was the
timeouts,
very
yeah.
important part for Auburn.
So they make the first down. They can run it down, kick the field goal,
Right.
and Auburn
Well,
never
if
gets the ball
they
back.
make the first down, then they eliminate any possession. This was an offensive game.
Yeah, Auburn gets penetration. They get the stop. That's
So if he kicks a field goal, I mean, and they go down and score on you, where he had 500 yards of offense at that point, I mean, what do you do? So, but they got stopped, and they still stopped him.
Yeah,
Yes, I mean,
what bigger surprise that Daniels engineered 560 yards worth of offense, or that Auburn's defense gave up 550 yards? Because even with the lack of offense that they've had, that defense has been
getting a little worn down.
That's a good explanation.
Getting a little. They've been on the
That's
field a lot.
really good explanation.
Field a
actually.
lot.
We've also seen moves with DC's
Pavia-
becoming a head coach, and they lose some of that focus on their side of the ball.
Durkin is distracted. He's
Durkin
got other
is
things
not-
he's got to do.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
That could be part of it.
And look, Pavia was really good. He was really
Yeah.
good Saturday. Yeah. I mean, he took that team on his back, man, when they fell behind. Because I mean, Auburn came to play, and what was their biggest lead? Like 14 or 17. It was a lot.
Yeah, they they were up 17-3 at one point, and I think that was the biggest. Yeah, that
Went
was the
back and
biggest.
forth
That was
after
the
that,
biggest
yeah.
part of that. A&M on Saturday against Missouri. We thought this might be a little bit of a trouble spot. They've got another game on the road. They haven't been home in a month. They didn't absolutely have to have this game. They're in the playoffs right now with a little bit of room to spare, and they throttled Missouri on that's a team that others have struggled with. And A&M, Mike Elko, pretty animated in the post game when he says, I don't
miss that. What happened?
Well, I'm going to paraphrase here. It was basically all the doubts of this team are coming from previous years. In other words, A&M always chokes, always, comes up short in the big game. He goes, and that has nothing to do
No, I
with
heard that.
this team.
I heard that.
I thought it was a pretty strong
No,
message.
he's
This is my culture. This is my team. I don't want to hear about what other teams came short of. This is my team.
Kind of
This is
like,
our
I
team.
don't know what all this catastrophe syndrome is around here.
It had a lot of themes like that to it.
I mean,
yeah.
what we talked about,
New sheriff in town.
When you go to A&M and you're like, oh yeah, aren't we proud of our football ops center here? Isn't it a nice one?
Yeah.
They got 2 of them. Okay.
It was so nice. Dick Vitale couldn't stand it.
You're going like, how do y'all not win?
Yeah.
I mean, wait, what's my budget? What's my player budget? Now Texas actually passed up Florida. They have the most players in the NFL now. I mean, what is going on here? I mean, you want to talk about when Miss Terry came here and said it was a sleeping giant. He's conscious of their underperforming, underutilizing their resources. And he ain't hearing it. No excuse. Don't let that look behind my back and now this is a time where something bad happens type of deal. So, I mean, you think if they got to bust a long play, Arkansas does Saturday, that they'll start chanting LSU in the student section right now? No,
probably not.
So, but he's looking to try and change the culture. That's kind of overblown a lot, but no, man, and it ain't done with gimmicks. They went up there, and the line of scrimmage teams usually travel, and they shook up Zollers, who I thought was going to be pretty good. He wasn't, but then they got back in it. What's he do? His timing's a little bit better than Lincoln Riley's timing and his kind of gadget move on Friday night. Fake punt. This thing is wide open. The guy goes for about 45 yards. And look, rally done. It was ball game. They put him away, and it was because Missouri had a little momentum coming back at that point.
3-game road trips are rare in the SEC. A&M 3-game road trip, won them all.
Now, do we have an asterisk because they played 5 teams that have fired their coach?
Really? I didn't.
4 conference games. Hugh Freeze. Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
And 2
Billy Napier.
Uh-huh.
And Sam Pittman.
Uh-huh. And as a non-conference.
Utah State fired their coach?
No, there was another one in there.
UTSA didn't fire their coach.
No.
He was up for the Auburn.
Trailer.
Their strength of schedule is still 15th in the country. It's not a cupcake walk.
That win at Notre Dame looks really good right now. That's a really good looking win for them.
It is a good win. It is a good win. It was you got a 4th and 10 and got didn't make a call on a little bit of an offensive lineman tackle on that play.
Oh, God, did he tackle him? Yeah, I remember that play.
I'm just saying. I mean, things fall in the Aggies' way.
Catch a break here.
Things fall in the Aggies' way a little bit. Don't forget our friends at Total Maintenance, one of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies since 1980. You have to get those heating safety checks. Call my buddy Lucas Fergus at 480-1000. 480-1000. We're going to be using those heaters. Please get them done, the heating safety check. Call now. Get it done before we crank these heaters up tonight. 480-1000 Total Maintenance.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
New tax resolution firms are popping up every day with high-paid celebrity endorsers advertising ridiculous claims in their TV ads. That's why they have the tiny, unreadable disclaimers at the bottom of the screen. Hi, this is Kerry Bryson with the Bryson Law Firm. Our ads never have those ridiculous, fast-talking, tiny disclaimers at the end because, simply put, there are no guarantees when it comes to the IRS and wiping out tax bills. And we don't make promises we can't keep. Of course, there are ways the Bryson Law Firm can help resolve your tax debt, but no company can guarantee it will eliminate it. This is why their clients call the Bryson Law Firm when those promises don't pan out. If you have tax problems, you have legal problems. Call the Bryson Law Firm. Our headquarters are in Lafayette, and we have offices statewide. Or visit BrysonLawFirm.com to schedule your free consultation with your local tax resolution law firm, the Bryson Law Firm. LSBA filing number LA2518447.
Jake and James here from Trash Rangers of Louisiana.
By now, you know about our residential trash pickup, our commercial trash service, and our roll-off dumpsters.
But have you heard about Trash Rangers Sanitation?
What is Trash Rangers Sanitation, Jake?
Trash Rangers Sanitation is our portable toilet business.
That's right. After years of business owners and festival committees asking us to start a local portable toilet business, we've done it.
For more info, go to TrashRangers.com. That's TrashRangers.com.
Trash Rangers Sanitation. We're number one at picking up number two.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text AREA to 42424 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text AREA to 42424. That's AREA to 42424.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Supreme service, supreme savings, and supreme selection are all at Supreme Chevy and Gonzalez. We have the Chevy you want, but we also have the pre-owned vehicles you want too. All makes and models, from trucks and SUVs to our value line, where everything is priced under $25K. So buy with confidence and visit us today or shop 24/7 at SupremeChevy.com. Together, let's drive to Supreme Chevrolet and Gonzalez, plus tax, title, license, and fees.
Getting got your heart rate up? Know when it's time to see a cardiologist. Every second counts, no matter the playing field. Call Cardiovascular Institute of the South today to stay in the game. Learn more or schedule at cardio.com.
Hey, Baton Rouge, I'm Harold Perkins, a Louisiana native here. Talk to you about something very close to my heart.
Each week, Dr. Pepper and Harold Perkins Jr. will award a local high school football player nominated by 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and you a signed football by number 7 himself. At the end of the season, the player with the most nominations will receive a $5,000 tuition award.
Together with Dr. Pepper, let's stack the cost of college tuition and support our local stars. Stay tuned, Baton Rouge.
See the winners and follow us all season long on our station website or go to Dr. Pepper Tuition with HPJ.com to catch the latest. Nominate now.
Louisiana's big weather can mean big damage to your roof. Our team offers free inspections and guarantees your satisfaction. Call 756-8603 or visit riceandroofing.com.
Just to be on the safe side.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
I'm going to touch on this just here for a second before the top of the hour. Reports that Brian Kelly meeting with, or his representatives meeting with LSU officials today to talk about the buyout. Not surprisingly, Kelly wants the whole thing. LSU had
What
offered
coach doesn't?
None. The only time they're accepting less than what the total amount is if you give them a lump sum to waive future considerations, and Les Miles did this, okay, so that he could negotiate freely with Kansas. And there's a scenario where that works. If the coach wants to work again.
And there were some reports, which I do believe, that there was some willingness on Brian Kelly's behalf to throw out that offset because he was eager to get back into coaching and thought. Now, maybe there's a couple of weeks that have passed by. Maybe he's had second thoughts. Maybe his attorney said this is not the best approach. And maybe he says, I like it on the golf course. I don't want to get back into golfing just yet.
I don't think he ever wanted to coach. I think they threw that out there so that they could say, well, there is a clause in there that says you have to at least try.
He expressed some interest on his behalf, Charlie.
You think he was genuine?
30?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I do.
I'm
I mean, listen, there's a lot of reports out there.
Sure,
Okay, it's my information because I said, y'all are crazy. Oh, no, and they explained it to me because I'm like, my money's on you paying 100% of that buyout.
Yeah.
But no.
I think it's still unlikely he coaches again, but we'll see. That's going on today. Hour number 2, straight
It's
ahead.
cold to play
Chris
golf
is
today.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge, not where he is.
Live at lunch.
At Bank of America, we're proud that more than 20,000 veterans and people with military backgrounds have joined our ranks since 2015. Now we're committed to adding 10,000 more over the next 5 years. By helping veterans achieve their career goals, we're moving from appreciation to action, and together helping expand economic opportunity across America. Visit bankofamerica.com/great place to work. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be an equal opportunity employer.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Go local and go free with Go Free Checking from Neighbors Federal Credit Union. No monthly maintenance fees, no balance requirements, and no strings attached. Just the safety and security that comes with Baton Rouge's largest credit union. And with direct deposit set up through NFCU's Early Payday program, you can get access to your funds up to 3 days early. Come by one of our 11 area branches or apply online at neighborsfcu.org. Go free with Go Free Checking from Neighbors Federal Credit Union. Insured by NCUA.
Hey, it's Gordy Rush, and we're excited to introduce Guaranteed Digital Media, your trusted partner in navigating the ever-evolving digital landscape. We offer a full suite of digital media services designed to help your business grow online. The digital world can be complex. Let the team you already know and trust guide you through it. Get a free website audit today. Visit GuaranteeMedia.com. GuaranteeMedia.com.
Is your closet organized? Let's face it, most closets are cluttered and a hassle to organize, but that's just because they aren't designed around your specific needs. One Bath & Closets works closely with you to design your space where it makes sense for you and clears the clutter away. From shoe racks, baskets, seasonal storage, mirrors, drawers, cubbies, and doors, One Bath & Closets can make your dream closet a reality. Go with an industry leader in bathroom and now closet remodeling. Visit onebathandclosets.com to sign up for a free in-home consultation. That's onebathandclosets.com.
Looking for the right job with the right company? TRICARE Automotive is hiring, and if you apply today, you can have weekends off as your signing bonus. Join our team at TRICAREAutomotive.com now. That's right, weekends off.
This is Mayor President Sid Edwards. Let me tell you about Thrive EBR. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3.
This is Brian Haldane. Renew the library millage, renew the funds for the Council on Aging, renew mosquito control.
On November 15th, vote yes on all 3.
Paid for by WIN EBR. Depression can feel hopeless, draining your energy and joy, but there's a proven way forward. At NeuroJust, TMS therapy is FDA approved, covered by insurance, and backed by 30 years of research. This safe, non-invasive treatment re-engages the parts of your brain tied to mood, with over 85% of patients seeing real results, many achieving full remission. Imagine peace, better sleep, and the freedom to enjoy life again. Start your healing journey today. Visit NeuroJust off Bluebonnet in Baton Rouge or online at neurojust.com.
Hey, it's Matt Moscona. If you missed the show, you can always check it out on demand at 1045ESPN.com, the 1045 ESPN app, or the After Further Review YouTube channel. AFR On Demand, brought to you by Breck Golf. Book your tee time today at golf.breck.org.
Insurance companies have teams of professionals to fight your claim. If you want to know what your case is really worth, I'm Spencer Callahan. I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7970.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21 12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
Here at Chris's live at lunch, Frank Wilson press conference, about 40 minutes from now, part of today's show. Glad that you're with us. Jimmy, chili about ready?
Homemade chili on a cold day. Chef, good job by Chef today doing it. So there's a chef-inspired lunch special every day over here at Chris's Specialty Foods, in addition to sandwiches and po' boys and salads that we have for lunch each and every day. But always in the warmer, Charlie, the cracklings. So when Chris's Specialty Foods does their what is it, the Jazz Fest tent, they basically go through an 18-wheeler of cracklings. And I tasted some.
That's a lot of cracklings.
Really good. They got the meat pies, they got the crawfish pies, they got cracklings, got the boudin. So those are kind of like grab and go over here at Chris's Specialty Foods, and where everything. But the holidays, Charlie, create your own bundle with the turkeys or turduckens stuffed, whether you want rice dressing, cornbread, boudin, crawfish, or shrimp. Like I said, you can create your own bundle with any of the turkeys or turduckens and any of the two of the sides, mac and cheese, rice dressing, twice baked potato, cabbage, yams, cornbread, or green beans. So at any of our 4 locations here on Highland Road across from Rufino's, Wax Road in Central, Millerville Road, just off of I-12, and West End in the Lakeview area down in New Orleans. And we ship them nationwide also. Whole turkeys, boneless turkeys, turkey rolls, turduckens. So sharing some of that South Louisiana flavor with our friends all over the country if you want to send somebody some holiday fare here from Chris's Specialty Foods.
Scott Van Pelt still do that thing where he did the best thing I saw today. He still does that.
Yeah,
That's a pretty cool segment. Saturday, I think the best thing I saw all day.
Texas Tech. No?
Best team I saw was Texas Tech. The best thing I saw was Indiana's game-winning drive and Fernando Mendoza going the length of the field with no timeouts and less than 2 minutes to go. And after a sack on the first play of that drive, looking at 2nd and 17 back at his own 13-yard line. Now, I get it. Indiana could have lost this game, still made the playoffs. It doesn't have the ramifications that it would have had with the 14 playoffs. And I know that Penn State has been a woeful disappointment this season, but it's still at Penn State, and they had played with a lot of enthusiasm. And on that 2nd and 17, Mendoza rips one across the middle for 22. And about 3 plays later, he rips one across the middle for 29. Actually close to the sideline with the second one. And then the touchdown pass, Cooper bailed him out a little bit. Pass was hot. It was high.
Oh, he was pressured.
But he gets it in there, and Cooper gets the toe down on what was, one of the best catches of the weekend, and Indiana wins. Jimmy, they trailed twice in the fourth quarter this year, once against Penn State, once against Iowa, and they came back to win both times. That was not just out of Mendoza, but Indiana in general, but especially Mendoza.
They have destroyed the teams that they're better than, and then the teams where they've tested, they've pulled them out. The Oregon win was by double digits, keep in mind, at Autzen Stadium. And they had to overcome some adversity in that one because Mendoza threw a pick 6 to tie that one. In the very next drive, they go the length of the field and get it done. I think it was 3rd and 10, but it was about midfield in Iowa City, tie game with maybe a minute to go. He throws the 50-yard touchdown pass to win it there. And then after getting sacked on first down, 7-yard loss, it really adds to the layer. No, not you're just down, but now you're down, and now you're behind the 6, and the clock is running, and you're on the road, and they're getting excited. And he, like you said, that was his best throw maybe of the day. Yep. And because they had to have it, they had to get out of there, and this is a really, really good Indiana team, and they're much better than what they were last year. And a lot of people just point at the quarterback, and I was a little lukewarm because I thought Rourke was better than people gave him credit for last year, the Ohio U transfer. But Mendoza is a completely different level. Now we've seen him perform on the big stage with a lot of pressure on him, and it seems like he's been at his best. At those spots in the toughest times, down 4 against Penn State. And did you hear? I don't know if you could decipher through Gus Johnson's call.
We were on the air, so I didn't hear it. I wasn't subjected to that. I
mean,
heard about it.
It's sad because he was such a fun announcer at the buzzer beaters in March Madness for a while. It kind of got him. It's just too much, man. And so, but did you hear the crowd noise on the completion?
Again, we were on the air doing pregame, so I didn't hear it.
Indiana presence in that
Oh,
stadium.
really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah.
12-0 against 12-0 in the Big Ten championship game is looking more
Yeah,
and more
Indiana.
likely.
Yeah. These. I say that. We said that for 3 straight years now. They're not going to lose to Michigan. Talking about Ohio State, but yeah, line opened up at 3.5. It's already moved to 5.5 as we
The potential Big Ten championship game.
Yes,
is 5.5?
yes,
Okay.
yes, yeah.
Ohio State, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
I had to ask.
Yes. No, but isn't that fun to see? So Penn State with the effort, they had gaps of empty seats in that stadium, but it was, man, they brought it and they fell behind 2 touchdowns. They were down in the game and fought their way back. So, in the quarterback was in the second start was way better than this start than previously. He was way more productive. So, some people still not a believer of Indiana. I am. I think just up front, man, they're tough. They are tough. They're better than what they were last year.
It's easy to dismiss them if you're not watching close, and I understand if you're not watching close on Indiana football because for every year prior to last year, why would you? But they're legit.
And their roster is coachable. And some aren't. I mean, I'm sorry, but if you watch the pad level when they're blocking, you watch them wrapping up when they're tackling, Texas Tech and Indiana are doing it better than anybody.
Well, let's segue to Texas Tech because that was an undefeated BYU team. Maybe a fortunate
They were.
undefeated,
They were.
but undefeated nonetheless in November. And Texas Tech shook them like a dust mop, I thought, most of the day. Dominated the game on both sides of the line.
Give BYU a little credit because Texas Tech, they forced Texas Tech to attempt a lot of field goals and kind of keep them hanging around, kind of like what LSU did to Alabama on Saturday night. So that kind of kept it in check, but it was a dominating performance. There's no doubt. But, BYU, I thought it was kind of living on borrowed time. Trip to Boulder. Colorado's not good. That was fortunate to get out of there with a 1-score win. Arizona's very average. They should have lost, but they got a bunch of calls to keep drives going and ultimately win in overtime. Bear Bachmeier's great, but he's a limited passer still at this point. He wants to run first, and it's just this is not the team and the place to try and do that. I think Texas Tech and Indiana are not just Cinderella stories. I think they're really got a shot to advance and make a run in the playoffs.
Worth repeating that Texas Tech's only loss of the season came with their backup quarterback and against Arizona State.
But that kid also played in their biggest win prior to
He's
Saturday.
played.
He outplayed the starter in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
There were discussions on if Hammond would replace Baron Morton. So, they're pretty close.
But in the end, Max, the senior is more reliable, than the freshman. And that's
whether he can stay available. He's had injury problems his whole career.
Well,
which concerns me because now your backup's out for the year.
Well, you still had 2. So when he did go down with an injury in Salt Lake City, you had a quality backup. Most people don't have that. Yeah. So, and don't put him at risk as much since the other kid because the backup's out for the year now.
Right.
That's for sure. But Morton he's still your senior. He was a starter for a reason, and he's fine. It was just a one game in Salt Lake City where they got outplayed. The freshman outplayed him, but that's gone now.
Okay, so if the best drive of the day belonged to Indiana at Penn State and the best throw of the day belonged to Fernando Mendoza, then 1A, or maybe even ahead of what happened at Indiana, take your pick, goes to Dante Moore in Oregon.
What a
in
strike.
The rain and the cold and the wind at Iowa City. All right, so we set up the Indiana thing for you. Let's set up where they were. 1:51. How about that? Same exact amount of time. They were deep
25.
Yeah, they were at the 25-yard line instead of the 20s, but the same exact amount of time on the clock. And they only needed
But they need a field goal.
They needed a field goal. But the throw, Jimmy, that I'm referencing was the 24-yarder down the deep right sideline that was not only in about the only 3x3 window that you could put it in, and the kid made a great catch. It was great coverage. I mean, if I'm the Iowa DB coach, I'm like, son, you played technique. You did what you could. The kid had to make a perfect play to beat you, and he did. I can't get on you. That throw was unbelievable by Dante Moore.
Because keep it in mind the other plays preceding that to start off with. In typical Iowa, when you play them, yards are hard. And that's what they tackle well. They're not going to, just collide and bounce off of ball carries and things like that. The first play, they gained 4 yards. The second play, they gained 4 yards. The third play, they got 3 yards. I mean, these yards were hard. 5 yards, 8 yards, and then a 24-yarder. I mean, these yards are hard, and then he comes with, he said, man, I got to push this thing vertically at some point. And the place kicker had to make it in some wet conditions, which obviously are tougher. We know about college kicking. It's not close to the pros. So off the real grass, it's wet, pressure, the whole thing on the road, and he drilled it.
And they tried to TCU us. Did you see that? On third down where they could have just put the ball in wherever the kicker wanted it, run it down and call timeout and kick the field goal. They took another shot at the end zone, like TCU did against Colorado that time. And he had him. He missed him.
Yes.
How good is Oregon? I mean, look, Dante Moore had a great game. He had 112 passing yards. He got outplayed by Mark Gronowski, but they did run on Iowa. And Iowa defenses, if you look at the box score, they significantly outgained Iowa. I think
it's a typical Iowa game, Max. They had 57 offensive snaps, so they shortened the game.
But they ran for 7.3 yards per carry, Oregon, which is impressive against Iowa. I'll give them that. And I didn't know if their O-line had that in them, but they
the conditions for the passers that day.
See, I didn't realize. 261 yards rushing.
Yeah, no, they ran the ball effectively. It was a misleading box
So how
score.
did they have turnovers or something?
No, it wasn't significant.
They didn't cash in the drives.
They won the turnover margin.
Yeah, they didn't cash in the
Iowa
drives.
had 2, Oregon had 1.
So when you rush for 261 on a short game. And win the turnover battle, yes, it shouldn't come down to the last play.
I want to say they turned it over on downs more than once. I could be
no,
missing.
They never attempted a fourth down.
Okay, well then
no, Iowa was 3 of 4 on fourth down.
Okay,
Iowa was 3 of 4 on fourth down.
Max, I'm going to give Moore and Iowa's quarterback too a pass on any of the numbers. Those conditions were as tough as it rained hard the whole game. The wind was blowing. It wasn't freezing temperatures, but it was 40 degrees. It was cold. That's a tough ask.
But if and I was not parked in front of the TVs like I usually am.
Right.
So that definitely shocks me that when they had to make this drive, kick the field goal at the end, that they had 261 rushing.
Yeah.
And won a turnover battle. Yeah, that's that's a surprise. You're not talking Diego? What about Auburn? Are they snake bit? Huh?
This year, yes.
Golly.
They are.
The hideout play? Huh? The hideout play, the calls in the Georgia game? Mm-hmm. Missouri, they had them beat. Lost in overtime.
Yeah.
They scored 3 against Kentucky, and then they 500 yards against
snake bit is appropriate. An appropriate term.
Don't forget our friends at United Community Bank, the local way to bank big with locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 50 years. Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, David Henry, Prentice Wilkes. Stop on by and see how we can help, discussing how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Live at Chris Specialty Foods, live at lunch. 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Baton Rouge, get ready for a fiesta of flavor. Whether you're craving sizzling fajitas, cheesy enchiladas, or the best margaritas in town, Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill have you covered. Bring the family, bring your friends, and bring your appetite. From fresh guacamole to mouth-watering tacos that hit just right, it's not just a dinner, it's a celebration. So why wait? Tonight, make it Las Palmas or make it Rio Cantina, 2 local favorites serving up authentic Mexican taste right here in Baton Rouge. Las Palmas Mexican Grill and Rio Cantina Mexican Grill, where every night's a fiesta.
At Town Square Pizza, we take pride in serving Baton Rouge with fresh, delicious, piping hot, personalized pizza with unmatched speed. Whether you're a downtown worker, a family looking for convenience and value, or an out-of-towner staying at one of the nearby hotels, Town Square Pizza is the spot for you. Try a specialty pizza like the Spanish Town Supreme or custom build your own. Family packs, kids' meals, and salads are available as well. It's hip to be square at Town Square Pizza, downtown facing. What else? Town Square.
Go Automotive has a great selection of new cars: Chevy, GMC, Hummer, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram. You rather a pre-owned vehicle? Using our resources will help find you any vehicle that you're looking for. Our service department offers VIP service. You never have to come to the dealership. We'll pick up the vehicle at your home or office, drop off a loaner, service the vehicle, and return it when it's done. Mention my name, Jimmy Ott, for VIP pricing. The Chevy Tahoe I drive came from Go Automotive. That's Go Automotive in LaPlace and Plaquemine.
This is Charles Hanniger for Home Bank. If you're tired of the impersonal, one-size-fits-all style of banking, you deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for your businesses and families because they go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business and good for life. Stop by any South Louisiana, Houston, or Natchez area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
If you're near the north side of campus, I need to remind you about a couple of longtime favorites. Highland Coffee's the original specialty coffee shop in Baton Rouge since the 1980s. My personal favorite, love getting my cappuccino from their friendly, knowledgeable staff, roasted right in the shop. Louis Cafe for breakfast and lunch 7 days a week. The Mitchell omelet, Cajun hash browns, Big Cheesy Lou, all served up in that famous open kitchen atmosphere. In Tigertown since 1941. Couple of great spots, Highland Coffee's and Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net.
Since the 1930s, Supreme Rice has delighted their customers for all of your favorite South Louisiana dishes. Whether you like the brown, long grain, medium grain, jasmine, or the new parboiled rice, Supreme Rice makes your favorite dishes even better. They even have a healthy low glycemic rice, a great option for diabetics and those who have high insulin resistance. Supreme Rice is proud to be part of the Climate Smart program, which promotes water conservation and reduces methane emissions so future generations of Louisiana farmers can enjoy the same benefits. For more information and great recipes, find them online at supremerice.com.
ALS is a progressive and neurodegenerative disease, and we need your help to find a cure. The mission of the ALS Association, Louisiana Mississippi chapter, is to discover treatments and a cure for ALS, and to serve, advocate for, and empower people affected by ALS to live their lives to the fullest. Whether you are newly diagnosed, a military veteran, a caregiver, or someone looking to learn more about how to navigate living with ALS, they can help. Visit als.org to learn more. That's als.org.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
And we're also brought to you by Coastal Capital Advisors, because when it comes to retirement, no two situations are the same. Let Coastal Capital Advisors pinpoint a plan that makes sense for you and your family the way they have done for our family. Phil Fontenot and his staff do a great job of spelling everything out for you. No matter where you are in life, no matter what your age or what your income level, they can make a plan that makes sense for you. Build that lifetime relationship. They've done a great job for us, so do it for you as well. CoastalCapitalADV.com to set up an appointment. CoastalCapitalADV.com, member FINRA, SIPC. Jimmy, I'm gonna cut a little slack to our friends down in the New Orleans media. If maybe they're a little bit giddy this morning, maybe even a little bit, hold on just a second. Let's not send Tyler Shook to Canton and Derek Queen to Springfield just yet. But I'm gonna cut them some slack because
they've been starving, man.
They have been beaten down so bad.
Yeah, they're just taking a little scrap.
My
man.
goodness, they have been beaten down over the last 5 years.
That little scrap with a couple of pieces of rib still left on it's like filet mignon. You know what I mean?
So we'll get to Queen and the Pelicans another day. But did see some signs yesterday that Tyler Shook has got a little something. There were plays yesterday that he made that he looked like a real NFL quarterback, a real NFL starting quarterback. Times where he bought himself some time, times where he put air under the ball on deep throws, times where he went to his second or even his third option, time where he avoided a safety, which the Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers was not able to do in the night game last night, pushed the ball a little bit down the field, coupled with the 2-minute drive against the Rams in a lost cause the week before. And I've seen enough of Tyler Shough that I want to see a lot more. And we're going to see him the rest of the season. No, I'm not ready, again, like our downtrodden friends in the New Orleans media, to say, that's it. The Saints have got their quarterback of the future. But I am encouraged by what I saw yesterday.
You just saw a lot more than what you saw against the Rams. Now, you know, as far as that goes, you know,
They hit the ball.
we were warned.
Yeah.
We warned how tough of a spot
Sure.
that was, you know, with the Rams coming off of a bye, that whole thing. But only cause for reservation is, well, there's plenty, but one of them is Carolina scored in the first drive and did nothing the rest of the game.
No.
So there wasn't really a whole lot of pressure on Shough to score a ton of points. I mean, because you went. So if Carolina scores 27, you lose 27-17. I mean, are we looking at this a little bit differently? Sure, quarterback always gets too much credit for the for the win, and gets too much criticism for losses.
It would feel
I mean,
differently.
But he showed me more than the Rams game as far as arm strength, although elusiveness. Just the throw to Olave is great. How about Olave? He caught it.
Even with a little physical, little bumping in, little hand fighting.
I couldn't believe it was him.
I know.
Yeah,
I know.
Yeah. I mean, I saw the play and I'm like, who is that? Oh, it's Olave. Oh, okay. It just, yeah, I want to see more too. His size, look, you know, he's certainly got, he's better size for the position than Rattler, and so far protecting the ball more than Rattler, which was a big issue with me. But he looks like he has a chance after yesterday. Is that okay?
No, that's actually the perfect way to say it. He's got a chance.
Yeah.
I love the fact, and maybe it's just that I'm beaten down a little bit myself with how the LSU quarterbacks have done this, or the one LSU quarterback. He stepped up in the pocket, okay? He climbed the pocket. He hung in there. He made some throws, and he put some throws into some tight windows. The arm strength and the size, they were there. You draft on that stuff. The other things, the feel for the position, you don't know. And I think he has come a long way. He wasn't ready in training camp. He wasn't ready to start the opener, but he's had a half a season to practice his stuff, and there are some things I saw there yesterday that look like a very instinctive quarterback. It's one game. I want to see more, but I liked what I saw yesterday out of him.
The first game, I thought that Rattler gives you more of a chance against the Rams. Yesterday, no, Shough is more of a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, and I hate to be, swing back and forth on it, but he just looked more settled and more. Was that because they were playing a weaker team, a weaker defense?
And it's just,
is that because
and last week was his first start? I mean, that's nerve-wracking.
Yeah. So I mean, and he's going to have some. He's going to have some bad days. He's going to have some good days. But at least it looks like he has a chance to be good.
And the other thing I like about this is we're going to have a chance to see if he can progress against his schedule. This is probably not fair to Rattler, but he had to go on the road and play the Seahawks and the Bills the first 2 weeks, two road games of the season. Coming down the stretch, the Saints play the Jets. They play the Titans. They play the Dolphins, who are showing some signs of life, but they're still not a very good team. They play the Panthers again. They play the Falcons twice. If you've got a little something, this is a schedule that will allow you to breathe a little bit, okay? Still an NFL schedule, but it's not, they're not going to play the Lions, the Patriots, and the Chiefs.
No, 9,
or
10
whatever.
games in, we should have a better idea of what the teams are, who's the stronger teams and who's not in the NFL. It's a year-to-year league. We don't know. Who knew that the Patriots were going to be this good this year?
Oh gosh! I mean, look at the NFL standings. The Ravens, the Chiefs, and the and the Bills are looking up at the Patriots, the Colts, and the Broncos. We didn't
Yeah.
have that in August. we
who did-
didn't think that was going to be the case.
So, I mean, they could win some games. So, how do you feel about them not being in the top draft position? now?
Okay, so I would have rather. You said what happens? Does it feel different if they lose 27-17? If he plays like that, I'd like to be able to think that I'm
just saying
astute enough to say, look, the guy looked good even in a loss.
When your defense holds their opponent to 7 points, there's not a whole lot of pressure on you to score a lot more.
Right.
And so that's. I mean, he did some nice things. He looked like a legitimate starting quarterback in the NFL. We still don't know, and probably, after we've seen Rattler, and we got to give him a few more starts, but probably a backup.
Yeah,
I mean,
I think what you're saying is,
and I didn't even know if he was a backup when he
When they
first
drafted him, no.
Yeah.
I think what you're saying is fair, Jimmy, in that the Saints outgained them by over double the yards. They had more than double the yards. And one of the things that Rattler fell short on is that big play that could have won him the game, right? That was where he kept falling short. That one touchdown that they needed that was a little off target that maybe would have won him some
He
games
had played
early
too
on.
careful. It was like, okay, he's eliminated up until the last 2 games that he played. He's eliminated the mistakes. He's not making the dumb plays, but he has become too cautious. He wasn't going to make the big
I
plays.
thought Rattler, a lot of his yardage though was in insignificant time too, because the Saints
Trail the whole year.
What percentage of snaps when Rattler's under center were they trailing the game?
Outside of
Probably like 90, 95.
I'm going to give you the stat. I don't have the exact time, but I'll give it to you this way. Outside of the Giants game, which they won, they led for 2 drives.
There you go.
2 drives.
Yes.
And the opponents immediately matched it. Now, that was before yesterday. That's in Rattler.
Well, Rattler might be a guy if you get five turnovers, So
Yeah.
maybe you can rotate a 2-quarterback system. But
I think you have to be fair to Rattler, though. I mean, Shuck was winning most of the game yesterday, which is probably more than Rattler has all
and
year.
so he could. No, that's what I said.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't get a better gauge on how he can do because they took the lead relatively early, and the only thing is Carolina scored first with 7-0, but still, I mean he has a chance, but yeah, I mean.
You have to
let's not be. We
have to
got a
factor that in.
long way to go with him, but
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm kind of aggravated that they lose some of their draft position. Can we let him score 31 and lose 34-31? Huh? Can we let him
may
to
happen.
double the yardage? Huh? Can we do that?
That may
Is
happen.
that a
They're
better
still,
scenario?
They're still number 2. The Jets won
won, yeah.
yesterday, so that helped. And the Saints defense yesterday, Carolina had won 4 out of 5, and they run it largely on the strength of Rico Dowdle had really carried the run game for him.
Right.
They shut
Saints
him
shut
down.
that down.
Yeah, they kept him in check yesterday.
And the other thing is, boy, this week to week you get humiliated. It puts your pride up against the line, and the Saints were humiliated and in Los Angeles. And I mean, Carolina's their biggest win of the year. You beat Green Bay in Lambeau, so and you flipped it back over, and that line was a little suspiciously low at some point. So. Yeah.
Saints get their second win of the season, 17-7 against Carolina Panthers.
Yes, indeed. So, Tyler Shuck, let's go. Let's go, Tyler Shuck. Don't forget our friends Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, your law firm for a lifetime. Get in an accident like I did. Man, it's so aggravating. I got to get a rental car. I got to get to the doctor. I got to see a specialist. I got to do this. Got to deal with the issue. Dana's going to handle all of that. Schedule the appointments with your doctors. Handle all the negotiations with the insurance company. Make sure that you get exactly what you're entitled to if you're in the subject of an accident around town. Same thing, doing some succession work and stuff like that. Man, I don't know where I'd be without the law offices of O.C. Brown. Utilize, again, 2 cases where Charlie and I use Dana's team of attorneys for different reasons at different stages of our lives. 343-1111 and ocbrown.com.
Live at Chris Specialty Foods, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
This is Charles Hanniger for Total Maintenance. For AC and heating, generators, electricity, plumbing, and more, Total Maintenance is your one-stop sales and service shop for all these needs. One of South Louisiana's oldest and largest AC and heating companies. Since 1980, their slogan has been service today, every day, so no one ever has to go to sleep hot. They're an authorized dealer for Carrier, American Standard, Daikin, and Rheem AC units, for Generac and Cummins generators as well. And now, for all of your electrical and plumbing needs, in Baton Rouge, call 480-1000. In New Orleans, 841-3300. Service today, every day. Total Maintenance.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and ocbrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt.
This is Buzzy Hydell for the Morris Insurance Group. Outdoorsmen in the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
Now everybody's been to Louis Cafe by campus. Heck, it's been around since over 80 years now. We're still doing delicious omelets like the Mitchell, cheesy grits, Big Cheesy Lou, and those Louis Original Cajun hash browns. We now offer a pickup window. Just call in your order at 346-8221. Give us 15 or 20 minutes, and we'll have it ready for you. Our hours are now 6:30 a.m. to 2:30 p.m., 7 days a week. So next time you visit campus, make it a point to stop by and visit an old friend. Louis Cafe, just outside the north gates of LSU.
This is Charles Hanniger for Coastal Capital Advisors, your full-service financial planners. When it comes to retirement, there are no two situations alike. So Coastal Capital Advisors will work with you, your business partners, your legal team, and tax professionals to make sure those goals are achieved. Coastal Capital Advisors will work for you. I know, because they work for me. For more information, contact Philip Fontenot and his great staff at 337-981-1376 or online at coastalcapitaladv.com. Advisory services provided by New Age Advisors, LLC, doing business as Coastal Capital Advisors as a registered investment advisor. Securities offered through New Edge Securities, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC.
104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and First American Bank and Trust bring you the Heart of the Game Award, recognizing student athletes who deliver when it counts. Nominate your game day standout at 1045ESPN.com by the 21st. And then it's up to the fans to vote for the winners. Each winner gets a $250 gift card, a custom award, and the spotlight they've earned. Presented by First American Bank and Trust, a banking tradition since 1910. Click through the static and listen to 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge in high definition. Simply tune to 98.1 and select HD2.
Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
Back here at Chris's Specialty Food, live at lunch. Jimmy, Mr. Van Pelt probably won't have a hard time putting together a segment tonight for Bad Beats. There's a few there's a few going in there, and I know he really doesn't.
What about yesterday?
Yeah, I know he really doesn't do the NFL.
So I stopped at Beau Rivage on the way back, and me and Bob were watching, and the table next to us was about 6 of them, Jacksonville, and they were having a good old time. They left very quietly.
I bet.
And then I can't believe. So I had everything. I said, Bob, this is the only game I know. Give me a pick. Houston. And I can ride him. Nice pick, Bob. Asking for one damn thing. You give me this Houston dud. I mean, they had no business being in the game.
Well, you had.
But when Mills shook loose, I'm like, he's getting in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was going to get in.
So you weren't with us for Football Sunday yesterday. We were at
It went like
Caesars.
95 yards or something.
I had a running total of what the yardstick was because our good friend Max here had the Texans
I had
and
Houston
was
money line. So
yeah,
thankfully
at money
I
line,
wasn't sweating
and
that
was
Well, I had -1.
continuing to tell me how much Jacksonville did not deserve to be leading in this game, which was right according to the yardstick.
Okay.
In the
All
first
right.
half,
They
with
had
the thing.
a
Go ahead.
special teams touchdown.
I heard this all day yesterday. Go ahead.
Just like the Jets. I mean, the Jets' scoreline is very misleading, right? They had 2 special teams touchdowns.
2 returns.
Those count.
They do, but you had a pick in the red zone. So in terms of yardage, it was Houston had like double the yardage.
Because Houston was fighting from behind the whole time, and
No.
you know Jacksonville is going to be a little bit more guarded when they. I mean,
But
no,
Jimmy-
Max.
Jimmy-
I mean, the game flow. I mean, you want to look at win probability during the course of that game. Jacksonville had to be high.
They were,
Now-
but they had 17 points on like 70 offensive yards right at the gates. So Houston was outgaining them from the get-go. And then, of
mean-
course, they were behind. So, yes, they're going to get more yards late. But
I thought Houston was very lucky to win the game. Very lucky to win the game.
Well,
I
they were
mean-
down 19. I'll
Yeah,
agree
I
there.
mean, they're down 19.
It's just,
I mean-
I don't think they should have gotten down as much as they did in the first
Maybe
half.
not as much, but Jacksonville is going to turn up the aggression level if it's tight, as opposed to being up double scores, which are they were up 2 scores of what 80% of the game.
Right, because it was 17. They
Yeah.
scored 14 points, I believe, 17 points in the first 10 minutes of the game.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that was a tough one. What about Chapel Bill sat on the lead? That was my best bet.
20-3 going to the fourth quarter, I think it was. against
Yes.
Stanford.
That wasn't a bad beat
yes.
compared to Auburn. We were both on Auburn. I mean,
Auburn-
we were leading most of the game, catching 6.5, losing overtime by 7.
No, that was
That's a
bad. You got to lose the toss. No, it was horrible.
Yeah.
It was horrible. But no, it's a bad beat. It's one historic bad beat. No, you get backdoored all the time. I get that. But the way they've been playing defense, I mean, the way they're controlled, they overcame some mistakes where they were going to score some more points early. It was just they have really been stopping the run. In Stanford, no, I didn't expect Stanford to score 2 touchdowns. I'll tell you what, you could have got a monster middle on that one. And but anyway, so what other ones, Charlie?
Well, those were the big ones.
LSU Alabama was a crazy cover. I mean, that guy's got to hit that field goal. You got to
Yeah.
turn the ball over. Man, LSU was in position. They're going to kick a field goal to put it on a 1-score game.
Just the last sequence of the first half, you got to give touchdown. That ends up being the margin. So
I lost by the hook on that one. That was my lock of the week.
you had
On who?
LSU.
LSU.
Yeah,
I never
the
bet
10
LSU, but
10
I
and
did.
a half, and probably should
Summerall
you have covered?
Summerall.
Maybe. I mean, they both missed a short field goal, so that kind of cancels out. I don't know. I didn't consider it a bad beat. I mean, it was unfortunate for you the way it ended up, but
You gave them the 7 before half.
yeah,
That was bad. You know.
But does Alabama play it differently if they
Also-
they got a
to me,
4-point lead instead
the
of a
line was a little suspiciously low.
Also,
I don't think LSU is that good.
Alabama
have-
scored
is
two.
it
Alabama's 2 field goals. They started in field goal range, right?
And
so it's
it-
hard to blame the defense.
And
when
here's
they
the other thing.
started.
defense
drive
played fine.
there.
And Alabama is pretty fortunate to be where they are this year. They are a play away. A play away. I could give you
Yeah.
one play, not a series of plays, one play in every game that would have altered the game a lot. And I think they're going to have a hands full when they go to Jordan Hare. I've seen much more lopsided matchups. Bama's good, but they're kind of like there's a ceiling on the SEC this year, and A&M might be that one team.
Wouldn't it?
Would
be,
you say? Huh?
Yeah.
'Cause-
Wouldn't it be just like you just clued me into something? Wouldn't it be just like that rivalry for Auburn to have had heartbreak after heartbreak, fired a coach, everything? Just the most downtrodden year for Auburn fans. They just beat
don't-
Alabama within an inch of their
Alabama
life.
will convert a 4th and 28 when they're down in their last play or something.
Yeah. No. It turns around just for the last game.
They will be ready to play, and they are capable. I mean, they have some horrible beats. I mean, were they 0-5 or 0-6 in the league now?
1-6, I think.
They beat Arkansas.
Yeah, they beat Arkansas.
1-5. They could be 4-2.
Right, and so you take all of that frustration. We were talking with Roe yesterday about the one interim game. LSU had just had an awful season. Everything turned out. That one game, they just came up with that thing, and they blew Arkansas out.
So the
maybe
Power
Auburn does
the
that.
Power 4 interim coaches were 6-0 against the spread. The two that lost the spread were LSU and Auburn.
And Auburn, yeah. You would have had an opportunity. All right, we're going to take you to the break.
I know the little Alabama faithful were giddy that they covered. I can tell you that.
I'm sure.
No. They felt lucky, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
they felt fortunate. Being fair about it.
You've already talked me into it. I'm taking Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Taking Auburn in the Iron Bowl. Frank Wilson press conference. We're back on the other side. Chris's Specialty Foods, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Browns did something that never happened yesterday. You call that a bad beat? Did the money line. The Browns. Oh, the Browns. 250-0. Hey, man. How was Delmar? Good, bro.
Jordan?
It's not waiting on him to come out.
Okay. All right. So we good?
Looks like they're going to be really good. Should be, yes.
All right, thanks.
They've had a couple of scrimmages. They went over to Biloxi and played Samford for like 27 innings. They played against Southeastern and Hammond yesterday. And yeah, he's got a lot of talent. Casey Evans, a pitcher, who's a star freshman.
It's game week for Fighting Tiger football. Welcome in to the LSU Football Press Conference, presented by the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation. This week, LSU and Arkansas start off the college football Saturday with the annual Battle of the Boot from inside legendary Tiger Stadium. Coming up, interim head coach Frank Wilson discusses the latest on your Tigers and previews the week ahead. But first, from the Capital One studio, inside legendary Tiger Stadium, here are former Tiger Gordy Rush and the voice of your Fighting Tigers, Chris Blair.
Once again, good Monday morning, Tiger fans. Welcome into the LSU Football Press Conference. Tigers coming off a tough loss on the road this past Saturday to number 4 Alabama. The final score 20-9. The Tigers now find themselves 5-4 on the season, 2-4 in SEC play. And they've got an Arkansas team who is, struggling in league action, but putting up a ton of points. Coming up at around 12 noon, we'll head to football operations here on campus. And Frank Wilson, interim head coach, will discuss the game from Saturday and then, of course, discuss the matchup coming up against Arkansas. And Gordy Rush, I don't know how much time we can put on the Alabama game this past weekend. I mean, it came down to really just a couple of matters. And it starts with the inability for the offense to get into the end zone. They attempt 4 field goals on the day. Damian Ramos goes 3 of 4. They put 9 points on the board. Excellent job by LSU defensively. Lowest scoring output in league action for Alabama. But that's pretty much the difference. They found the end zone on a couple of occasions, and LSU forced them in really good field position for Alabama into field goals as well. But that's the difference in the ball game.
No, absolutely. Look, LSU was 3 of 4 in red zone appearances, and they settled, as you mentioned, for 3 field goals, whereas Alabama was 2 of 4, and both times they were down in the red zone. They were able to put it into the end zone. Now, I thought that was a huge part of it. 10 penalties for 72 yards for LSU, especially, again, in key moments. There was some drop balls, some execution things that I think, unfortunately, went against LSU. And I thought the big one play, no question, in the football game was at the end of the first half, in which Alabama, inside a minute, they were able to hit a huge long pass to set up that second touchdown from Simpson to Williams, and that made it 17-3. And more than anything, just changed the complexion of the football game, because I thought LSU had a lot of momentum going into the half if they would have been able to get that game at 10-3.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't have asked for, in that first half, kind of a better situation other than having the lead, obviously, in the sense that it was pretty quiet at Bryant-Denny when we talked about it really from the outset of the game. But certainly as the first half went along, there wasn't a whole lot to cheer about for either team. But LSU, again, was bringing the fight. And you're right. I think that was the momentum, that sequence there where they put the 1-minute drill together and ended up getting the touchdown. That seemed to take everything away. But look, hey, defensively, again, it was a pro-style quarterback. There was one decent run by Simpson in the game, but LSU, I think, did an excellent job defensively. This is not a defensive issue, and that's not an epiphany on my part. But obviously, 20 points, if you hold Alabama at home to 20 points, you kind of think you got a good shot to win.
No, I think the defense did their job. I thought Blake Baker had a very nice game plan. I thought they made Ty Simpson uncomfortable enough at times. You had the big fourth down stop. You had Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins Jr. came with the big turnover and set up another scoring opportunity. Being on the road, I thought the defense played really well, bounced back nice from that second half against A&M.
Yeah, Perkins led the Tigers, 9 tackles on the day, as you said, credited with the sack, had the strip, and recovered the fumble, which, again, LSU, great field position, but they had to settle for 3 instead of finding the end zone. Obviously, one of the big stories coming away from the game was the switch in the second possession of the second half for LSU to Michael Van Buren Jr., the backup quarterback. I don't think there's anybody who says, why was that done? Obviously, after you had some momentum, you go down by a score of 17-3, you open that second half, and the inability to move the football. You couldn't find the first down chains, and eventually they made the change and mixed it up a little bit. Now, look, I don't know that you could watch the game on Saturday and say, okay, there was so much better when you made the change, because ultimately you didn't find the end zone. But it will, I think, set up maybe as soon as today, Gordy, that's a question that Coach Wilson will be asked. I know he was asked it following the game. That's a little different because you're in the heat of the moment and you're disappointed in the loss. But I got a feeling somebody from the media today is going to ask about the plan this week.
Right.
I don't know how much we'll get because I think they probably want to see both practice and then see what they do as far as the game plan for Arkansas. But we'll talk about the Razorbacks in a minute. But one thing's for sure, as I said earlier, you're going to have to score more than 9 points. Basically, you're going to have to score more than 30.
No question. No question. I mean, Arkansas scored a lot of points all season. They have been not very good on defense. And, of course, with Bobby Petrino calling plays, and Taylor Green is back at Arkansas for his second year as a quarterback. They've been excellent together on just about every game except Notre Dame. They've scored points. We'll talk about Arkansas a little later. No doubt the biggest question that's going to get asked today at the press conference out of Coach Wilson, what's going to be the order of the quarterback? Are you going to name a starter today? Or are you going to wait to do that, before the game? And that's what I expect him to do it a little bit later in the week. But, to me, what I liked about what Michael Van Buren did, and we've only seen samples of him here, but I thought he was really patient and stayed into the pocket. Right, he stepped up into the pocket and delivered a bunch of key balls, especially against zone defense. The other thing that I liked that happened in the game is that they, in spots, Alabama didn't blitz and bring a lot of pressure, and then with Van Buren, you have to worry about containing him. And so it'd be interesting if in a 0-0 game or earlier in the game where LSU wasn't behind and pressed to be a little bit one-dimensional, how does Van Buren being on the field affect LSU's running game, right? Because you have to play him more honest than Nussmeier, who's less of a threat to run the football. And so, I think that there was enough to me, there was certainly enough good things that happened that my guess is you potentially are going to see both guys against Arkansas in this game. But I thought that Van Buren, although he was 5 of 11 for 52 yards, and then he ran 6 times for which wound up being a net 1. 2 of them were sacks. Again, it was a situation. He did gain 21 yards, and you saw his ability to make some plays with his feet.
Let's talk about Harlem Berry a little bit. We knew going into the week, listening to the coaching staff after the change at the top, that there was going to be a dedication to run the football. And it was pretty obvious in Saturday's game, at least early on in that first half, not only running the football, but running the football between the tackles. And Harlem Berry comes away 12 carries, finishes at 65 yards on the day. Now, that's not a world-beating number, of course. And, you go back to the A&M game, Gordy, where there was an attempt to run the football, and then you get behind after the opening drive score in the third quarter, then the punt return, and suddenly that kind of was taken away.
Right.
It'll be interesting to hear Coach Wilson today discuss that. It seemed like in the second half they kind of got away from that. We went back to the screen game. We were throwing the football behind the line of scrimmage, and really I think made Alabama made their defense look even better, because at some point they had a 12th defender with the boundary with the throws to the sidelines. But again, it almost was like the run game went away.
Run game went away, and so again, I thought too much of an emphasis on horizontal passing, sideline to sideline. Like to see a little bit more vertical attack. Middle of the football field, as Jacob and I talked about on the broadcast, is open because teams are now have seen enough of you, what you're trying to do, stretch sideline to sideline. And then only one explosive pass play, meaning 20 or more yards, and it was exactly 20 yards that Xavion Thomas had a 20-yard completion. I mean, this is still a dangerous, but beaten up a little bit LSU wide receiver room, in which you have guys that can stretch a football field, and you have a quarterback in Nussmeier that looks healthier now. I think his arm is getting back closer to normal. That can stretch a football field, and I'd like to see a little bit more vertical attack with that. But again, let's see what this was Alex Atkins' first game calling plays. It'll be interesting to see what Coach Wilson, his thoughts on the offense's performance.
All right, well, coming up around 12 noon, Coach Frank Wilson will join us from football operations. Media's there. They'll discuss and break down Saturday's game before moving ahead to talk about LSU and Arkansas coming up this Saturday morning. Again, kickoff around 11:45 at Tiger Stadium. We'll take a quick break, come back. We'll talk about the Razorbacks, what they've done thus far, and what the concerns probably are for LSU, both offensively and defensively. We'll do that as we continue after this.
In Louisiana, we love our LSU Tigers. When the band strikes up those 4 iconic notes, the fans go wild. At Louisiana Blue, we're Tigers.
This hour of Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny is brought to you by Dana Brown at the law offices of O.C. Brown, 343-1111, and OCBrown.com. Roto-Rooter for all your plumbing needs, 925-8710. Supreme Rice, grown, milled, processed in Louisiana since 1936. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Tex Morris at Edward Jones Investments on Jefferson Highway, 928-8659. Total Maintenance, your one-stop shop for AC, electrical, generators, and plumbing. Service today, every day for Total Maintenance. And Coastal Capital Advisors. Markets evolve. We adapt. The Live at Lunch with Ott and Hanny Restaurant Club. Sammy's Grill on Highland Road. A hometown favorite for tailgating and watching LSU games since 1988. Snow Seafood and Steak for over 50 years on Airline, Highway, and Highway 74 in Gonzales. Dozy Place for hand-cut steaks on Government Street and Mid-City. Louis Cafe, a Baton Rouge landmark since 1941. Just outside the north gates of LSU. Finbom, sushi, burrito, poke, ramen at Burbank and Lee.
Agree on your time from anywhere. Flexible, online, built for Tiger Nation. Visit online.lsu.edu and win where you are.
Trust isn't given. It's earned by showing up, leading the way, and performing at your best when it matters most. Our Lady of the Lake sports medicine experts know what it takes to improve performance and build champions at every level. That's why LSU chose Our Lady of the Lake as its championship health partner, trusting Louisiana's best medical team to care for our state's best athletes. From championship athletes to everyday champions, trusted care starts here. Visit OLOLRMC.com/LSU.
Coming up, interim head coach Frank Wilson addresses the media from football operations. This is the LSU Football Press Conference, presented by the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation. Once again, with a preview of this week's matchup, are Gordy and Chris.
All in brunch coming up this Saturday, 11:45 kickoff in the Battle of the Boot. LSU hosting Arkansas. The Razorbacks coming in 2-7 on the season. They're 0-5 in SEC play. And Gordy, we kind of mentioned it a moment ago. Yes, they are 0-5, but they're losing games because teams are outscoring them. I mean, Arkansas has been in some absolute shootouts, and they've came up short a number of times. I mean, against Texas A&M, it was 45-42. The Aggies got a win. Auburn got by them 33-24, and then most recently, before they went into this past off week, Mississippi State got their first SEC win with a 38-35 victory. So when you look at Arkansas this season, 52 points, 56 points, and then kind of stuck in the 30s. They did get handled pretty well by Notre Dame, 56-13. But after that, I mean, it's 30-plus points a game. They're averaging about 33 in SEC play, 35, I should say, and giving up 33. So I go back to what I said earlier. Job number one is you got to put points on the board. 9 won't do it. I don't think 19 will do it. Not sure 20 will do it. And that's even with an LSU defense that I still think plays very well. You're going to have to put points on the board.
Well, Bobby Petrino can call plays. He's always been able to call plays. And again, Taylon Green is a quarterback that he brought in. He's had him now for 2 years and really has had an outstanding season. He was knocked out of the game late against Mississippi State, kind of unofficial, I guess, kind of concussion protocol. He got slammed in the head and didn't return. He did make his way back to practice, so he's expected to play. Look, they went out and got some weapons for him. Mike Washington's a transfer running back that came in from New Mexico State. He's only averaging 6.5 yards a touch. They already had that bowling ball and Braylon Russell, a big old fullback-looking guy that plays tailback for them. And then 2 receivers, they got Omega Blake and Raylan Sharp from the transfer portal. So they've been potent on offense all season. I mean, I remember back when they played at Ole Miss and had a chance and really should have won that football game, turned the ball off driving late in that game. So this is definitely an offense that you've got to respect. And hopefully Blake Baker and his group continue the effort they had last week up in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at Arkansas, again, in SEC games, in the top half, I should say, in touchdowns scored, offensive touchdowns, rushing touchdowns. The rushing offense is second in the league in SEC play. And, of course, Taylon Green's a big part of that. And that's why I emphasized earlier, LSU's defense against Alabama was superb against what many people feel like is a Heisman candidate in Ty Simpson. And I can't argue based on what he's done this year. But he's not what I would call a prototypical dual-threat quarterback, more of a pro-style quarterback. You go back to the Vandy game, obviously the Ole Miss game, and certainly Texas A&M, the 3 previous losses, it was a dual-threat quarterback. That obviously has to be a concern going into the game.
Well, Green can run now, and he's quite an athlete. However, he'd prefer, much like Simpson, they'd prefer for him to throw the football, and I imagine that's the case, especially after he took a hit against Mississippi State. He has 107 carries on the season running the football. He's averaging 6.1 per carry, and he averages 72 per game. So he's certainly in play, and I imagine that Bobby Petrino is going to have some of that in his arsenal, seeing some of the success that Reed and Pavia had against LSU defensively.
Well, again, they put points on the board, but we have to emphasize defensively they have really struggled when it comes to their defense, again, against SEC teams. They're dead last, giving up 38 points a game to league opponents on the season. They've been susceptible against the run, even though they run the ball extremely well. They are also dead last against the rush in SEC play, giving up 187 yards per game. So there are opportunities for LSU's offense. Again, I think it goes back to, do you establish the run early and do you stay with it, even if you don't have success early? Because the stats say Arkansas struggles against the run.
They do struggle against the run. LSU is 37th nationally in the turnover margin. They're +3. Arkansas is -7. That's 121st. So it is a high-risk, high-reward type of offense, and LSU's good at turning people over. This is an opportunistic defense. So, look, it seems like a broken record when we get to those keys to success, a recipe for success, but I'm going to help Jacob out. We've got to run the football. You want to run the football and give your defense a rest. against this Arkansas defense. The fresher they are, they're going to get after Taylor Green and company. If you can keep that time of possession and run the football, get Harlem Berry going a little bit, and if Van Buren's in, I think there's 60 to 70 yards he could have, depending on how much he plays. That they have struggled also with dual threat quarterbacks.
You know, the other thing that comes to mind, and I know there was a lot of talk after Saturday's game about the discrepancy in penalties, and I think you could make an argument there were some penalties that you could go back and watch on the film and say, well, they maybe should have called that, and they didn't. However, for the penalties that LSU were assessed, the number of false starts penalties, there's no question about that. There's really no argument about that. And in week number 10 going into this game against Arkansas, the last thing you want to do against a defense that's certainly struggling more than any in the league, you got to find a way to eliminate those mental mistakes.
Got to clean up the execution. I mean, a stat we don't talk about is the timeouts you have to burn, right? And because you're not lined up, you're not getting the play in. The self-inflicted mistakes here, as you mentioned, in week 9 of the season. It'd be one thing if you're doing those things at Clemson, it's the first time on the road, and you're trying to get in that rhythm. Got to clean those things up on the offensive side of the football.
Again, coming up in just moments, Frank Wilson will join the media inside football operations. It'll be LSU and Arkansas. The Tigers looking to make it 4 straight. It's been a while since they relinquished the big golden boot. It's still housed here in Baton Rouge. And again, LSU still not bowl eligible.
Right.
And who'd have thunk that following the opening game of the season? And you got 3 games remaining against Arkansas, who would love to, again, get their first conference win under Coach Bobby Petrino. You certainly know the coach wants to finally get that win if he's got any hopes of retaining that job into the future. Then you've got a non-conference game in Western Kentucky before you go on the road to take on arguably the best defense in the SEC in Oklahoma. I mean, you've got a home game against Arkansas, and it goes without saying you don't want to have to go into the Western Kentucky game, Gordy, trying to get bowl eligible.
100%. And look, for this Alex Atkins in this offense, it's another chance. I think to you got too much talent out there to underperform and do the things that they've done. You've got talent out there on the edge. You've got some talented running backs. You've got 2 quarterbacks that both have more than capable. Just getting them in rhythm here for this stretch run, I think, is job number 1 on that side of the ball.
Certainly, you hope you get some guys back, and obviously it starts with Whit Weeks. And I know I sound like a broken record, but I'll continue to say it. Without Whit Weeks out there, I think you miss some major leadership, not just from a rah-rah, get the guys fired up. I mean, get the guys where they're supposed to be pre-snap. I thought that LSU, for the most part, defensively played extremely well Saturday, as we mentioned. But without his play, his tackles, and without his leadership, and again, I'm sure that's one of the questions Frank will get very early on is what's the status headed into this week?
Again, he had a walking boot on the sideline, and look, they use that a lot of times as precautionary, but he's not walking. They said he was able to put some weight on it last week, and they ruled him out, obviously, on Friday. And getting him back is huge. The last 3 games especially, teams have picked on the people that have replaced him there. A lot of people, you look at the success that Alabama had throwing the Cuevas, the tight end. You go back against Vanderbilt, they were able to do a good job at throwing the ball on the tight end. So Weeks could nullify some of that if he's able to come back.
Real quickly, Western Kentucky LSU. It'll be a 6:45 kick at Tiger Stadium. Let's head now. Here's Coach Frank Wilson.
Okay. First of all, I want to give regard to tomorrow being Veteran Day. And I want to thank all those who serve this country, allowing us the freedom and all that we have here in the United States. Without them and their sacrifices, we wouldn't be the country that we are. So very grateful to all of our military enlistees of the past and those that are current. All right. With that being said, as we turn a page from Alabama, there were some things that I stood before you and I asked of our team and said that we would do in regard to physicality, toughness, never say die mentality. I think our team displayed that throughout the game. I thought that they went into the game with anticipation of winning. I think they believed they could win all the way until there was no time left on the clock. I thought we started fast. You know, our defense goes out and plays the style of play that we desire, that have been the standard here for so long. We get them in a second and third situation, give up a yard or two, get them in a 3rd and 1 situation, we stuff them. Get them in a 4th and 1 situation, we stuff them. So from a kickoff coverage unit that didn't let it get outside the 25 special teams to a defense that goes out and plays stellar and goes 4 and out with 3 downs of playing 2 or less, I thought was fantastic by our defensive unit. The offense gets the ball and we march it down the field. We get the ball into the red zone area and give ourselves an opportunity to get points on the board. And we don't convert, but pleased with the drive. And okay, we could do this. We're in a good rhythm. We're in a good place. Defense comes back out, plays spectacular again. We get an opportunity on 3rd and 6. We pick up about 12 to 15, and the ball comes loose. And so we give the opponent a short field where they go up 3-0. We go back and forth, and we get to the back end of the half with the score being a touchdown or a possession away. It's 10-3 with 2 minutes and 28 seconds left. And so here's what happens. I say to our football team, I say to media, I say to anybody who would listen, we're going to try to win this game. We're not going there for a moral victory and hope that we can stay with them. We're going to try to win the game. And so with 2:20 and change left and down by 7, we try to get started to get a 2-minute drill going for our football team. I thought, first down we pick up 2-3 yards. Second down, I thought we had a good call. We didn't convert. Third down, I think we got even a better call. They're exactly where we thought they would be. It's the exact defensive call we anticipated, and we don't convert there, unfortunately. And so we punt the ball away to the minus 34. We flip the field for our opponent, who now has 56 seconds left with no timeouts, and feel confident that we could keep them on that side of the field. They come down and they get points, and so now we go into halftime with the score as such. Here's what we say to our football team when I stood before them. We're going to get the ball back as an offense. We're going to march down the field, and we're going to get points. That's going to happen, all right? And so this middleweight that we talk about, the end of the third quarter, the beginning of the fourth quarter, where we tried to steal a possession, get points, and then get it back in the third would have been pivotal for us. And so so you go for it, right? And that's a part of it. That's the risk. That's the risk. It's no different than faking a punt, a kickoff. Well, it's not going to work on the other side of the 50. The only way it works is if it's at your minus 28, when they don't anticipate. It's the element of surprise, right? And if you get it, it's fantastic. If you don't get it, it's questioned, right? So we don't get it before half, and so I question myself. I should have ran it. I shouldn't have did this. And then you come back and you watch the film, and you talk to the kids, and you see when you look in their eyes, their want to, we did the right thing. We were supposed to go for it, and that's a part of it, all right? And so it's an 8-point game into the fourth quarter with the game very much in the balance and opportunity for us to secure victory. We certainly had our opportunities to do so. The difference, in my opinion, in the game, they had 4 or 5 explosive plays of 20-plus yards. We had 2. We kicked field goals. They scored touchdowns off of those explosive plays. Our game plan was to be methodical, to keep our defense fresh, to mount momentum, to go score for our offense. We win the time of possession game. We win the rushing game. You take out the 38, 40 yards and sacks. I'm talking about handoffs to the backs and to our run game. We do those things for us, for our football team, to put us in position to win. And so you play a defense can play stellar in respect to complementary football when they play 60 snaps, 62 snaps, opposed to 85 or 90 snaps that we have put them in a position to do at the same time, and so does the offense. So we both had about the same amount of opportunities, give or take 3 to 5 plays or so. And the game plan unfolds the way that we anticipated. The difference is we have to find a way in this week to be better and from the 20 in. And so that is our charge. I like our football team. I like the things that we did. I think it's something to build on. It's always a tough challenge. I don't care if it was the Millennium game and it was 3-6, 6-9, whatever it was, those of you who were there, whether it was 2019 and a big lead that came back or everything in between. That game is going to be what it is, and it's tough sledding to go in there against one of the premier programs in the country. But I think the difference is not that great. And so our charge is to build on those things we did not do well to allow us to go into this week to fix it. And it'll start today in our corrections as we view this film and put it behind us after today. All right, so we'll open up the questions about it or move to Arkansas as you guys see fit.
Hey, Frank. Who will be your starting quarterback against Arkansas, Michael or Garrett?
Yeah, for the quarterback position, I thought both of them did some good things. I thought both of those guys did things that need to be improved upon. I thought Garrett at times was spectacular. He started off red hot. He did some really good things for us. I felt at the back end we needed a spark and something to get us going and add another dimension to our game. I thought Michael stepped in and gave those things to us as a football team. As of now, nothing has drastically changed in how we have flowed. Outside of the fact, like last week, I'll say to you, we're going to use everything that we have, and both of those guys will play in this game moving forward.
How you doing, Coach Frank? In the previous 2 games to Alabama, the defense allowed 200 yards plus rushing. Against Alabama, they only allowed 56 yards rushing. Was that a direct result of the physical practices that you implemented?
Yeah. I think it played a part in it, right? I thought mindset. It's a mentality type play in your charge. And when we talk about that opening drive that they have, that was 2nd and 3, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1. You're talking about three downs against a team that have a couple of first rounders possibly at offensive line, certainly one for sure, that we were able to get our cleats in the ground, get off the ball, change the line of scrimmage, and not allow them to move us. That's a mindset. That's a want to. That's not talent. That's sheer grit. That's sheer determination. My will against your will, I will not be moved. And so I thought our team did that, and I think the style of practice that we've been having, the way that we've gone about conducting our business, and in this small sample size, now it's only, I guess, 10 days, since our transition, but we have, or so, but we have conscientiously with purpose and intent built the mindset to be physical running the ball and to be physical stopping the run as well.
Hey, Frank, if I could ask a follow-up on the quarterbacks. So last week you said Garrett was the starter. You'd use them all. Does that change this week during the week as far as maybe how you divvy up reps at practice, who gets 1s and 2s reps?
Yeah, I thought Garrett did well enough at times to still be in position to be the starter as we start and embark upon this week. And so when we go to corrections today and practice tomorrow, he'll be the first guy that goes in.
It's going to be a theme here, I feel. Is there a positive aspect of utilizing both quarterbacks in the same series, even like we've seen in the past?
Yeah, you know what? That's a great question because we're not out on anything. Again, I think if you look at body of work and you isolate it, that's good. That was good. We missed that. We got to be able to get that. And they're both imperfect in that sense. They both brought something to the table that helped this team to go up and down the field. They both have things that they need to continue to work on as well. And so I don't think it's just a clear separation where one is beyond the other, that we'll need both of them. And I think and I know we'll use both of them in this game.
Coach, just to continue the quarterback train, I guess, when you have a guy like Michael in the game, a really mobile quarterback, what does that really open up for any offense, not just yours?
Yeah, I think it makes them account for him, and that you can't, that you have to keep integrity of your rush lanes as a defensive line in pursuit. I think it makes you have another defender account for him if he does get through the first level, if you will, because if not, then it becomes a tremendous gain, a huge gain, opposed to that person being in coverage. And so I think there's tremendous validity into having a guy that can extend plays with his legs, or even have direct quarterback design runs that they have to account for.
Non-QB question. Obviously, chaotic couple of weeks here. Is there a lesson you feel like you may have learned looking back at the 2 weeks, or something, even advice you'd give yourself in the last 2 weeks moving forward?
I like what we did the last 2 weeks, and I think every day it tells us something about our football team, of what we have done well, what we need to continue to improve upon. And for our team, it's holistic, right? It's the guy who I had to get on this morning who parked in the handicap spot, right? It's the guy who, as we get to the back end of this semester, has to take care of his responsibilities academically, to put himself in position to graduate, because that's what you came to LSU for, that it is still an institution of higher learning, and that we compete for championships, and the degree in hand is the full measure of success. That one without the other is not good enough. And, we say to our team, if you came to LSU just to play football, then you've made a mistake. And so to answer your question, the lesson is, how you do anything is how you do everything. You don't just turn it on the field. And so to continue to try to build on our culture, on those habits of do the right thing, man. Don't take shortcuts. And if you find yourself looking over your shoulder before you do something, you probably shouldn't be doing it. And that propels to the football field, right? And whether it's your assignment, whether it's in the weight room, don't cheat. Don't cheat the game. Don't cheat the game, because it'll get you. It'll get you when it gets you, right? And you'll be disappointed at that time. And so for me, and the lessons that are daily, is the continuous process of building our football team to build habits that we have, of seeds that we've planted that come to fruition.
Frank, the other change you made was at right tackle. So the plan there this week with Davis and Ori Williams, or anybody else that might be in the mix?
Yeah, it was good to see Big Ori get out there. He's a mammoth of a man, right? Huge in stature. I thought he did a good job. We, as you saw in style of play, we did those things, not just conscientious of a pass game standpoint in depth or lack of, or quarterback, but also to protect our offensive linemen at times who are still growing up when they needed it, to be able to have a tight end, to be able to have a back, an H-back, to protect the edge, to just slow them down just a bit, because sometimes it's just the presence, or sometimes it is the nudge or the chip that slows that guy down. Here's the difference, in my opinion, of the SEC and every other conference in America: those defensive ends. They're the Kiki Mingos, the Myles Garretts, all the Clownies. Those are the guys that make our conference what it is. And so that tackle who's going backwards is going against the most elite player in college football, in amateur sport, if you will. And those are the edge rushers in this league. And yet again, we'll have another one that we'll have to face in this week. But so there's consideration taken all the time in those guys that when they go out to the field. And so who'll be the starter, I'm not quite sure yet. One played quite a bit, and then meaning Weston, and then of course Ori Williams went in and he played quite a bit. They both They both did some really good things. They both did some things that still we need to build upon. But we haven't made a decision just yet on that.
Just you saying that triggered something in my head. Rewatching the game last night, backside pursuit got you guys a lot, I guess. Just, is there anything you can do in getting that off faster to get away from that? Or is that kind of the risk you run when you're running those kinds of plays?
Well, you're talking run game or pass game? Yeah, and so they run the heel line, right? And so, and that's a unique skill set to turn your toe to get flat, where a guy like myself or maybe one of you, it'll take us. We'll have to run a curve to go around. Those guys can turn their toe immediately and go flat down the line of scrimmage and make up the distance like that. And so, we'll have some things schematically to slow down the backside guys. That respectfully, I won't say now, but we'll have some things in place to temper him so he's not a bat out of hell and just running us down.
Frank, for a play caller, your opinion, is it easier to call the second game than maybe the first? Does it take a little adjustment to your guys and learning the skill set and what they can and can't do?
I think it does. I think it does. It's something as simple for me. Talk up. I can't hear you, because they're monotone. Then they talk up, and you ain't got to be that loud. Slow, And so we're learning all those dynamics within in real time. The acoustics of the stadium, and it's reverberating, and he can't hear, but he could hear, or the mic goes out. Signal it from the sideline, right? So he has the green dot, of course, the quarterback. The coordinator's talking to him, and he can't hear. We have technical malfunctions that happen, all right? So you got to go from calling it to signaling it, all right, in length, in real time. And so those things happen sometimes, and for the fan or for the media, like, are you kidding me? Get the play in. Well, he can't hear. But we can't explain to you he can't hear. We just got to do what we have to do. And so we'll do some things. And so a lesson learned that if we do have a malfunction, we'll make sure that, we're wristbanding some things, not just signaling it to get it in that much faster. And so they're growing, and our quarterbacks had not worn wristbands or done things to help them. And so we learn, you're ever learning, what's the issue? And so my responsibility in game management and of our team is to troubleshoot the issues. So if that was an issue, if it happened again and you had the signal, the shift, the formation, the play, and the protection, just how about go wristband one? Done. Instead of all of that. And so those are the things that we're trying to do to benefit our team, to help us play faster.
Kurt, early in the game, you did some bootleg stuff with Garrett, maybe some stuff you hadn't done in the past. You obviously can't put a new offense in 2 weeks, so how much can you add that's new, but then, hey, we got to run the stuff we've been running also?
Yeah, he, point well made, and thanks for putting that in perspective, Jock. I think there's, he enjoys those things when it comes to waggles and boots and nakeds, and he thrives on them. And it allows him to naturally, in style of play, throw on a run, which is a little different than drop back and then scramble, because it's a part of, I believe, his repertoire. He can do those things naturally, and it happens. It flows for him. He's done it, as he says to me, I've been doing that since I came out the womb. He said that to me, and I said, okay. I like that, right? And so we'll continue to do whatever it is to benefit Garrett, to benefit Mike, to play to their strengths.
Rick, Nick Anderson, what's the latest on him and his knee, and then also where's Witt going into this week?
So Nick Anderson first. Positive. We're really worried on the sideline that it could be something long-term. It is not. It does not require procedure. And so we're day by day in a rehabilitation preventative manner with him to get him along the way. I don't know if he'll be ready this morning. He came in, of course, yesterday, Sunday, and again today. We'll continue to monitor it to see. Probably about Wednesday we'll have a real idea of if he'll be up for this game or the next and moving beyond. What else you asked me about? His thing is, again, as tolerated is how he finished the game. Once we got out there, and we're in Tuscaloosa and the juices are flowing, he's like, Coach, I can go. I'm like, yeah, right. You couldn't go yesterday, but that's just your adrenaline. All right, and so he got himself in a frenzy of position, and he's a competitor, so he wanted to play. But you can't tell me the day of the game, right? And so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I'm uncertain right now, probably hopeful without medically using the term doubtful or whatever. But he was in great spirits. He's eager. He wants to be back out there, but we won't put him out there until he can protect himself and play at the level that allows him to be elite.
Coach, Trey'Dez Green has been on a roll this entire year. He didn't record a catch against Alabama. When you look back at the film, what did they do against him, and how do we get him more targets and more active?
So, be nice to Trey. He was targeted. He was schemed. A couple of times schemed, and we didn't get it to him. A couple of times targeted, and we didn't get the reception. But he is for us that we recognize and that we need. We need Trey to be involved in the game. Unfortunately, he didn't record one because he's a tremendous asset for us, and we'll try to get him going again this week. We'll get him going this week. But we had him, figured in the game plans last week as well. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the catches and receptions that we desire.
I got an Arkansas question for you.
Oh, good.
There you go. Taylor Green was injured in their last game. Do you anticipate he's going to play? And why at times has this defense struggled against running quarterbacks?
And he may be the best one. And we faced some really good ones in all due respect. But he's 6'6", athletic, and he's a legit 4'4" guy. And it almost at times looks like he's gliding because of his gait, his stride length. He's a good player. They're prolific, in my opinion, the 8th ranked offense in the country. They can score. They've been behind against opponents and rallied back because of his unique skill set to both run and throw the ball. They're averaging 35 points a game. They can rush the ball from the quarterback position by design. They can hand it off as well. And they have some receivers that can make plays for them. And so they're certainly formidable from that aspect, which makes them extremely dangerous. You watch them against Ole Miss. You watch against Mississippi State, on and on and on. They're in games where they could easily have 2 or 3 more wins that they did not. And they always play us tough. Always have. And so we're expecting to get their very best. We'll have to score touchdowns in this game. That'll have to happen. That's a non-negotiable because they can score. I think he's a very talented player.
Another Arkansas question. Early kick in Tiger Stadium.
Yeah.
Any message to the fans about getting out there, being loud, only 2 home games left for the rest of the season?
Yeah, so here's the reality. Here's my my all call, my rally call, if you will, to our fans. We need you. We can't do it without you. You're the best fans in America. You love and you love hard, and we respect that. You have great expectations. And we're trying to meet those expectations because so do we. We want to play well. We want to play well for our fans, for our families. We want to play well for ourselves. We need loud and proud our fans to be in Tiger Stadium early. I know that's tough now. It always have been for them to get their behinds up early, but they got to get it. In my opinion, just come the night before. Start your tailgating. I'll come around in the golf cart and high five you. All right? Now, I say that, Mike, I got to do it. All right. So I'm for that, though. I'm for that. Our fans who's going to come out late Friday night, I'll leave the hotel with the team, come by, see. I'm gonna do a check. Let's do a check to see how many fans are here to get going for Saturday morning. But no, glad to be back home. Glad to perform in Tiger Stadium in the premier venue in all of sports. And so we're excited about having our fan base there to support us. Thank you guys so much.
Coach Frank Wilson this week with the LSU football press conference. Again, the Tigers will take on Arkansas coming up this Saturday morning at 11:45. We'll have airtime along network lines. We'll talk about that and this week's Coaches Show before we wrap it up here on the LSU football press conference.
What a matchup we've got, folks. Just nonstop action. The energy is electric, and the fans are all in. An intense game like this calls for a Coca-Cola.
Get Moss Max and less text during happy hour at Modesto. Join us Tuesday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. for $10 20-ounce margaritas and Dip Trio with $5 drink specials and $6 seasonal cocktails. Eat Modesto, 3930 Burbank Drive.
Pizza that's true to its hand-tossed wood-fried tradition. Roca Pizzeria is heating up its new half-off happy hour, Monday through Fridays, 3 to 6 p.m. Come enjoy 50% off margarita, pepperoni, or cheese, craft cocktails, wine by the glass, and draft beer. Roca Pizzeria, 3897 Government.
Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near
By
Perkins.
2050, population growth could increase rice demand by 30%. But as climate changes, rice output is decreasing. At LSU, we're using genetics, genomics, and AI to create new rice that yields more with less resources. We're not just feeding the hungry, we're growing a better future. For him, it wasn't the cancer that almost took his life. It was an infection his body wasn't strong enough to fight. Antibiotic resistance is a global crisis, targeting those who are already vulnerable and claiming over 1 million lives each year. But an LSU discovery is changing the game. Our unique biotech starves bacteria, stops growth, and gives the body a chance to heal. Because behind every breakthrough is a life worth saving.
Wrapping up this week's LSU football press conference, presented by the Louisiana Farm Bureau Federation. But first, with some final news and notes, here again, Chris Blair.
LSU back in action this coming weekend. It'll be LSU and Arkansas, the Battle of the Golden Boot. Kickoff at 11:45. Tiger fans with an early start before the Razorbacks and Tigers get together. We'll have coverage beginning here along network lines with LSU Game Day good and early at 9:45 Central Time. Later this week, Thursday night, the LSU football radio show. Frank Wilson will be on hand at TJ Ribs, and we'll ask him about what they try, kind of dig in a little bit on what he talked about and trying to improve from last week's performance and find a way to kickstart.
Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
And return here at Chris's on Highland across from Ruffino's. Charles Hanniger, Jimmy Ott, Max Gotro, Jordan Kinch is back in the studio. All right, so Frank Wilson answered the question about the quarterbacks, saying that both of them did good things, both of them will play, and when they go out to practice this week, Nussmeier will go with the ones. So, Jimmy, we debated this before he went out there. What he would say, what we thought. What do you think of the decision?
It's a close call, man.
Yeah, as I said,
Yeah,
it's not an
not a
easy
slam dunk.
No.
And so it's not a whole lot that surprises me, but I just feel that you gotta do what you feel puts the team in the best position. And it kind of something that Rohan alluded to yesterday in Football Sunday is a combination of the two might be the best.
Yeah.
What kind of packages can you offer that? Nussmeier knows what he has to do. I mean, there's no different as far as I'm talking about the command of the playbook and what they're calling. But if you're going to play a guy with a different skill set, you want to have the different packages for him that really you haven't been seeing that much. Or do you run the same things and he's just able to, elude the pressure a little bit more? This will be the weakest team defense that LSU will play in a conference game. So, kind of like them hitters, man. Like, oh no, man, you got that middle reliever in there. Let me go get my bat. Let me get my cuts in now. So there's maybe more of an eagerness to play as well, and then there's pride on the line as well. When he made the move, I thought it was appropriate on Saturday. And I thought when Kelly made the move against Texas A&M, it was appropriate. He did himself a favor. Now, I was a little confused. He ran him out and then he pulled him. Is that how it went?
No.
Okay, because you hear some. I mean, because I
didn't see that.
I don't know how he did, but at the time, he was only going to get beat up more. Yeah. Texas A&M had pulled away, and that's when all your sacks come in anyway. I mean, the majority of your sacks come in garbage time when they ain't worried about you running the ball anymore when you're down multiple scores. They just getting up the field, and you're going to get hit more than you did over the course of the regular part of the game. So it's close. I could see playing both. I think, as I maintain, and we'll see. We'll see yards per play. We'll see yards per attempt.
Yeah.
Or yards per drop back, whatever it is. But I think that the backup gives you a little bit better chance at moving the ball because it's not going away as far as a lack of protection, and he's more suited to kind of getting out of those jams more.
I think playing both of them is fine. I'm going to add one thing to what you talked about with the packages and things like that. Attitude matters here. Two quarterback systems. If you have one guy that thinks he should be playing more, obviously they both think they should be playing more, and it carries over, that could be a bad thing. If they embrace it, that can be a positive thing. I didn't see anything on Friday. If Nussmeier had gone to the sideline, and maybe I'm reading too much into body language, but if he had gone to sit on the bench, put a towel over his head, and just sulked his way out of there, I might have said, you know what, he's done. I didn't see that. I saw a kid who was still into it. I saw a kid who was encouraging his teammates. I saw the kid who had tears in his eyes at the end of the game because he cares whether they win or not. If his attitude had been any different, I might feel differently. But given that, I think he still wants to win. He still wants to play. I would give him that opportunity. At the same time, I'm not gonna give him an endless leash like I would have at the beginning of the season. He could have thrown 3 interceptions in the first 3 drives at Clemson, and he was going out for number 4. That's not the case anymore. If he goes out and he throws an interception or turns the ball over or does something careless, no, you're coming out now. So
the offense has been terrible. The offense has been really, really bad this year.
No question.
And so, got to do something different.
Yeah.
You have to do something different. I know one little bright spot is Harlan Berry.
Berry, yeah.
He's, he had one of their explosive plays. Frank said Alabama had 5. LSU had 2. Trey Dez drop was going to be 3.
I got to give Frank credit, man. That is the nicest way I've ever heard anybody say that a guy dropped the football. I wrote it down. He said he was targeted but didn't get the reception. That's so polite. That's really nice.
Trey Dez is still developing, as most of these guys are, but him more so than near the top as far as his late start, his commitment to basketball for such a large part of his youth career, and he knows he had all kinds of room. He was headed up the field before he secured the ball.
That's why he dropped it.
Yeah. I mean,
it's happened to a million receivers. You look up the field before you drop, you get the ball.
So, but it was going to be a big one.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was.
And for being as raw as he is, his hands are really. And I saw that in high school. I mean, he made some catches like, I don't care. We know about his catch radius. I mean, he's so long.
He's got big hands. He's got soft hands.
But he's got really good hands. Really good hands. Just like we talked, But so many receivers, the hands are so, they don't measure the hands. It's like a quarterback. It's like accuracy is like down the line when they evaluate quarterbacks. You know, with a tight end. That's why I was like, Bowers. I'm like, doggone it, man. We know he's big. We know he's strong. We know he's he plays a lot of toughness and heart. But man, his hands, some of the catches he makes. So Trudez has got the hands. Now, Trudez, still work in progress on his toughness, on his trying to become a tight end, if that's what he wants to do. He's more of a detached guy right now. He's certainly big enough. You're strong enough.
There's a
to bring that
willingness
part.
too. We've seen a willingness on film for him to go in there and hit somebody.
Okay, you guys are watching.
Yeah,
because
there's
it
a
was.
willingness.
Ain't no willingness in high school, bro.
No, there's a willingness now. The technique leaves a lot to be desired at this point,
well,
but there's a willingness.
And technique's going to be more challenging for him because he's so damn tall.
Yes, it
okay,
is very difficult
So-
for him to get leverage in places
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
Some of the other things that he talked about the end of the half. He defended their play call at the end. He said, "We didn't come here for a moral victory. We liked our calls. We felt comfortable with it. They gave us the exact look that we wanted, and we just didn't execute it." I'm fine with that on first and second down. The drive started with 220. Okay, so that 220, yeah, I want you to be aggressive. 107, 3rd and 11. You gotta dial it back. Okay, I understand you're not going down there to be for a moral victory, but there's a time to show a little bit. You got to pull it back.
You're down. You're not. You don't have the lead.
No, you're only
Okay?
down 7.
You're down. I understand.
yeah.
You're down
Yeah.
7, but you don't want to waste the possession. But your quarterback, who's been around for 5 years, has to know, and that has to be coached, and he has to have better situational. It's on both.
Yeah,
and
no,
I
I agree. And-
He's got to know that. How many times you're in that situation when the opponent has no timeouts left? So that's a rarity.
Yeah, that's and that's a big part of it. Look, 1st and 10 with 2:20 to go from your own 20, by all means, go ahead. 3rd and 11 from the 19 with 1:07 to go. I'm sorry, we disagree
what's
there.
The golden
I
rule?
disagree with Frank.
What's the
on that.
golden rule?
The
field position dictates aggression. Where
yeah,
are you?
The 19-yard line.
No.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
That's right. And
No.
less and a minute less than you
No.
had on first down. No. The first and second down, I'm fine. Third
And
down,
look,
no.
we watched a lot more games and more. They watch film. We watch more games. We see more things unveiled. We're more trained than they are to make these calls. But it's a simple policy. Into half, field position. That's why you start with something safe, and then we got past the 35. Then your aggression goes up.
Yes.
It goes up.
Right.
Yeah.
Especially if you pop
But
a run.
rarely, Charlie, and this is one thing, rarely in that spot. Pay attention. When you see you got the position, you got the ball under 2 minutes to go, and your opponent's out of timeouts.
No, you're right. That doesn't happen very often. Ordinarily, they do have that. He talked about the plays getting in and troubleshooting that. The communications, I can't hear you. He talked about going to wristbanding to make that a more fluid operation. I think that's a wonderful idea. I am appalled that it took them to week 10 to get to that. Not anticipating that noise might be a problem in Tuscaloosa. That's disappointing. That stuff should have been put in before they went to Clemson. Did they not anticipate noise at Clemson? Okay, you got to make this easy. Hey, we might not be able to hear. So I applaud the adjustment. You're in the 10th playing date Saturday. That should have come a long time ago, my opinion. Yeah. Okay. Good news on Nick Anderson. It's day-to-day and not a season ender. Whit Weeks is still going to be a day-to-day thing. It's pain tolerance. It's a deep bone bruise and a really bad spot, so we'll see on that. And he talked about Ori Williams for Weston Davis. One of the things we're going to do film study tomorrow night and drop a new Handycast. I'm anxious to see how he did in the second half with a little bit closer look in the all-22 and the end zone views because Weston Davis has struggled. And Williams was another highly recruited kid, another massive size guy. I want to go see. I didn't notice him get beat the other night on any one particular play, but you can only watch so much on a TV cut, so I want to go see that.
Right.
So some of the other things to look at.
So you sound like a coach, Charlie.
Oh
Gotta
man,
look at
well,
the film.
we listen.
Gotta look at the film.
When we're in,
And you do.
when-
You do.
we're
You
in,
do.
We're in the week 10. Yeah, I've heard from enough coaches.
Yeah,
to
get the
start to sound
plays
like
in,
that.
man. Make it decides. Come on, But
Wristband 1. Okay, run that. Come on. I agree wholeheartedly with that. We're here at Chris's Specialty Foods. Thanksgiving is just a couple of weeks away, 2 weeks from Thursday. Order from here at Chris's Specialty Meats.
oh man, look. So you do the bundles where you can take one of the traditional turkeys, the whole turkeys, and injected, deboned, fried, smoked. You got the turduckens that you stuff with, of course, that's a turkey, duck, and chicken. That's with the rice dressing, cornbread stuffed boudin, crawfish, or shrimp. Stuffed turduckens, stuffed turkeys, and turkey rolls. The turkey rolls are just like the turkey breasts. They're kind of rolled up with the different stuffings in them. And the stuffed turkeys are the whole turkeys. So we ship anywhere in the country. And then you can create your own bundle with 2 sides, with all of our sides: mac and cheese, rice dressing, twice baked potato, cabbage, yams, green beans, cornbread. We got the turkey gravy, pecan pies, and dinner rolls as well. And then also the, just by itself. So you can do the turkey rolls, the turduckens, the whole turkeys, the boneless turkeys, a la carte if you want as well. But holiday turkeys, we got them for you over here at Chris's Specialty Foods and at all of our 4 locations. So over here on Highland Road, across the street from Rufino's, Millerville Road, just off of I-12, and Wax Road in Central, and then West End Boulevard in Lakeview down in the New Orleans area.
Live at Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road, live at lunch, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
1950 Phil's Oyster Bar started on Government Street. Then Gus Piazza took over in the 70s, and now his son Anthony is taking it to another.
Whenever you're ready.
Eyes rolling.
This is Charles Hannegriff. Join us for the Tuesday edition of Live at Lunch from Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City. Andy Isco joins us from Las Vegas. Greg Bowser on LSU. And first class, second class, no class. Live at Doe's, live at lunch, 11 a.m. Tuesday on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
In the state might be having a tough time right now finding policies to fit on the properties they love. If you've got a hunting camp, a boat, or an RV that has been difficult to insure, we want you to look again. For owners or renters, the Morris Insurance Group can help you all the way to the duck camp or the fishing boat. We also have policies on coastal properties, including flood insurance to let owners protect themselves in the event of damage. For your camps, boats and trailers, four-wheelers, ATVs, and tractors, get a quote today at morris-ig.com or call 225-201-0007.
Do you know what you would do if you were in a car wreck? It's easy to panic when you or someone you care about is hurt in an accident. Who will pay the medical bills? Who will pay the car repair? Who will deal with the insurance companies for you? Protect your rights. You need someone you can trust. Call the law offices of O.C. Brown at 343-1111. The law offices of O.C. Brown will handle everything for you. 343-1111 or online at ocbrown.com. We want to be your law firm for a lifetime.
Attention vehicle owners. Before you trade your transportation, let K&M Automotive give your vehicle a new lease on life with a remanufactured product from Jasper Engines and Transmissions. A Jasper remanufactured engine, transmission, or differential will extend your vehicle's life, giving you the extra cash to do the things you really enjoy. And Jasper offers a 3-year, 100,000-mile nationwide parts and labor warranty. K&M Automotive, 636-2875. That's K&M Automotive, Siegen near Perkins.
When it comes to celebrating life, there's no better place than Rufino's. With locations in Baton Rouge and Lafayette, Rufino's is a steak, seafood, and Italian-inspired restaurant that focuses on the celebration of life, regardless of the occasion. Whether it's the food they serve or the service they provide, their goal is to ensure a remarkable experience for their guests that is always remembered. To view our menu, visit Rufino'sRestaurant.com. Rufino's, where Louisiana comes to celebrate life.
Running a business can be difficult enough without the right relationship with your bank. With United Community Bank's local business bankers, you're not just a number, you're a partner. Contact Heath Meir, Nicole Glover, Hunter Creed, David Campbell, or David Henry to discuss how we can help your business today. United Community Bank, the local way to bank big. Locations from Baton Rouge to Golden Meadow. We've been serving the people of Southern Louisiana for over 60 years. United Community Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender. With all of the financial headlines, are you worried if your retirement savings will last? The market's ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. If you have more questions and answers about what's next, let's work together to help ensure you're prepared for your journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek, it's a new beginning. Stop by your local Edward Jones advisor. Tex Morris on Jefferson. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Get the 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge mobile app powered by Bayou Ford and tap the microphone icon to send us your thoughts in an audio message. Your message could be played on air. Find our app in the Apple or Google Play Store. For direct links, visit 1045ESPN.com. Tigers, Saints, Southeastern Conference, all in one place. LouisianaSports.net. No paywalls, no article limits. It's just the coverage the Louisiana sports fans want. Bookmark it today. LouisianaSports.net. Live at lunch with Ott and Hanny. Live from Chris's Specialty Foods on Highland Road.
If you're coming by Chris's Specialty Foods here on Highland, we had the chili for lunch today. Man, comes highly recommended, especially with the cold weather today. Coming by Chris's Specialty Foods, always with the different lunch special. Today we had the chili. That was pretty doggone good. Good news for the Bengals. Joe Burrow going back to practice. He's got a 21-day window to which he can begin limited practice before he's counted against the roster. He's obviously not going to play this week, but he is back at practice, so we'll see. That AFC North is not out of reach, amazingly. Steelers lost last night. They're 5-4. The Ravens won yesterday. They're 4-5, and the Bengals are 3-6. Anybody's ball game. I would take the Ravens at this point.
LSU ain't getting a whole new other offensive line, and the Bengals ain't getting a whole nother defense, Charlie.
No, I was just talking about Burrow going back to practice is all.
I know, but Flacco can't play much better. I mean, Burrow can't play that much better than Flacco.
No, they scored 42 points last week and lost in the week before that. They lost.
You know what I mean?
What did they lose the week before? 39-38 to the Jets.
The Jets.
The Jets. Yeah.
Justin Fields looked like he was going to Hall of Fame.
Hey, Joe Burrow's going to come back, play quarterback, all 5 offensive line, and all 11 spots on defense.
Yes.
Brian Daboll out with the Giants.
A little surprised. Right now.
They lost yesterday.
I know the 10-point leads and stuff, but doggone it. I mean, look at the injuries he's had.
They lost Malik Neighbors. They
Scatterboo.
Lost Scatterboo.
So they're going to look for a new GM too. But I mean, the GM did a good job this year.
They've actually had some very nice
Dart.
choices.
Dart. I might be wrong. Look, it was kind of flipping the coin. It was a close call because I've seen some moments going. The offense just opens up when he's in there compared to Russell Wilson or whoever else. It made a big difference.
I'll tell you
and
what.
Lost his first start. He lost Neighbors. Few starts after he loses Scatterboo.
One thing about him, we've made this point a bunch. Yesterday was the 4th time. How many starts now, Jimmy? 8 or 9 for him?
For Dart?
Yeah.
Not that many.
He didn't
About
start
5
the
or
first.
6.
Okay.
No.
Okay, so in 5 or 6 starts, he's been in not the full concussion protocol, but concussion evaluation 4 times now. Bub, you got to protect yourself.
Look, he's in the game. If he finishes the game, they win. No question.
Yeah,
no question.
I mean that's a lot. He's got to learn that. Got to learn that.
I forgot to tell you, Lincoln Riley did that pass. He put the backup quarterback, the punter's number 80.
Yeah.
The punter is number 80. They were down 14-7, and I'm sorry, it was 7-7, and he put the backup quarterback. It's Brock Heward's nephew, Damon Heward's son, and put him in number 80. And the USC he throws a pass.
Yep.
Like 4th and 4, 4th and 6. He completed a 10-yard pass. The radio play-by-play for USC. I didn't know the punter had that kind of. Boy, he looked good on that throw.
Yeah, the league sent him a little reminder today that kind of stuff is largely frowned upon. I had a feeling we may revisit that in no class tomorrow. It was Bush League when Les Miles did it, and it's Bush League now.
Well, it's supposed to be a penalty because it is deceit, it's deception.
Well, you know what they did though? They put him on the roster, so it was legal. Okay.
Well, I mean, everybody's on the roster.
No,
but the
with
80.
the number, yeah.
Oh,
they handed him the roster before thing, and Northwestern didn't check it.
Shouldn't he be doing? I mean, you know,
I'm sorry. I think it's Bush League. I get that it was legal because they did it, and I don't know why I feel that way, Jimmy.
3, 4,
should
5,
I be?
6. Yesterday was the 7th start for Dart.
Okay. Should I be rewarding the creativity and the attention to detail for USC doing something like that? Because they handed Northwestern the thing and said they're not going to look at the flip charts, and they were right. They didn't. Northwestern coaching staff said, look, they got us. So it was legal, but it's Bush League. I'm sorry.
No, that's
it
bull.
just
That's-
is.
that's- I mean, that's it. What's that? Well, I mean, even if you're a booster, I mean, that's what I invested my money in. I mean, they paid a lot of money for Lincoln Riley to go to
did.
USC.
They did.
I mean, that's how you competing, man.
I guess they won the game and they covered.
I know. I know.
Eagles and Packers tonight. Who you got?
Eagles.
Eagles 1.5 point underdogs tonight. Should be a good game at
Jalen Hurts
Lambeau.
anytime, TD.
32 degrees at kickoff tonight.
That's fun.
It's Rain Band November. You figure.
31 here.
It's gonna be. Yeah. You bring your plants in.
I'm just gonna put some sheets over. I'm tired, Charlie.
We brought the plants in yesterday.
Oh, really? But it didn't freeze last night.
Well, because I didn't want to do it today. I just in case.
30?
We put the sheet over, and we got a little makeshift greenhouse in the backyard. You know. Okay.
Come do mine when
Thanks.
you're done.
No, I'm busy. Thanks to the folks for Christmas Specialty Foods for being our host today. Tomorrow we'll
Randy
be
and
at Joe's.
Tressie in here helping out, man, doing a great job.
Getting ready for
Holiday,
Thanksgiving,
man.
yes.
Turkeys, man, stuff is awesome.
Come get some
Great
chili.
stuff.
Tomorrow we're at Doe's Eat Place. For Jordan back in the studio, for Max, for Jimmy, I'm
10.
Charles Hanniger saying thank you and good afternoon. Stay tuned for Hunt Palmer on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live at lunch.
Congratulations,